Hi,
Hey!
everybody. Thank you for joining us. I believe my car alarm just went off at the right time, so I'm going to let Scott go ahead and talk about the Mirabel Hotel. It's in his back of the woods in Wisconsin, and I'm going to go shut my alarm off. Be right back.
Okay. Been a while since I've been by myself. I'm trying to find the live here quick on my phone so I can follow the comments a little bit. And it's not really. Oh, there it is. There we go. Let me get the volume down. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everyone for joining. It's lovely. Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Just making sure. It's kind of weird being the guest. I can't comment on my laptop, so I got to use my phone. But anyway, we I haven't been to either of these places we found, and they're mysteries, of course, but they're interesting mysteries. Um, the first one was about a time warp saloon, and this lady supposedly walked in. Thank you. This lady and her husband were looking for a place to pull over so she could take a bathroom, and she walks in this bar, and everything is weird. It's like back to the 50s or something. So let's see how this works. But I'd like to share a little bit of a video that she's talking about her experience. Share screen.
Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry, Scott. It wasn't my car, but I had to run downstairs to make sure it
No
wasn't.
problem. Let's see. Where is it? Make sure.
Whew.
Okay. So let's see. Where am I?
So I'll bring a picture up until you get yours up.
Um.
Catching my breath.
Well, I'm doing
Oh.
the. I got the Time Warp Saloon up first.
Oh, so we're still going to read on that. Okay.
Oh yeah, I thought we were gonna do both.
Okay, because I read on the article. I think it because the article was posted by a high school student, and I thought she wrote that for a piece of fiction, and that's why I sent that little cap shot to you to see if you
Okay.
still wanted to read on that.
I don't know. I can't. Let's see. I shared the screen, but it's not coming up. Let's see how
Oh,
this
wait a
works.
minute. Here we go. Hold on a second. Add to
You,
screen.
oh, okay. There you go.
There we go.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being patient. Everything was fine and smooth until boom, we were supposed to go live, and then.
Okay. This lady here is gonna describe her experience, and
Oh,
this bar has a mural on it. And when she's going into this experience, I gotta bring this down. She's going to this experience, and everyone was acting weird. Like people weren't really talking to her. You know, certain people were in the like shooting pool. They were in
okay.
different clothes. They had like a hat on, and one guy just kind of talked to her a little bit and smiled, and he was playing the same song
Over and
on
over.
jukebox. And then later, I don't know. I don't want to do it too long because it might take up 20 some minutes. But she also explained later that the scene in the mural started changing, and her husband started going into the mural.
That's creepy. I would just
So
been
this is
like,
the only experience at this bar, but this mural still exists at this bar. So let's see if everyone can hear it.
And so we walked in, and as we walked in, everybody in the place turned and looked at us, and almost simultaneously
So
went,
can you hear it,
"Hi!"
Heather?
yes, loud and
It felt
clear.
like almost we were expected. So Bob went to the bar, and it had this big horseshoe-shaped bar as you come in the door, and then the bathrooms were around this side. And as I walked around, there was a pool table, And there were two guys that were standing at the pool table leaning on their, holding a drink, I believe, and leaning on their pool cues. And then there was a dance floor. And I just went past them and found the bathroom. And when I went in, the lights were off. So I did what I had to do, washed my hands, put the paper towel in the bin. And since the light was out when I came in, I turned the light out as I went out. And Bob walks up to me and he's got a long neck beard and hands it to me. And as we were pulling in, this is a really important part that I left out. He said, Roadhouse Saloon, I've been wanting to come here because Bob lives there year round. He's the caretaker for the family property. And he said that people were talking that they had this big mural painted there. It was this huge wall, probably a 17 feet or something, big, huge wall mural. And so he said, oh, this is great. We get to go in and see this mural. So he hands me the beers as I come out. And we turn and start walking towards the mural. And as I come out of the bathroom, this young man comes walking up to me, and he's holding a beer, and it's a glass beer, and it's kind of sloshing. He's teetering a little bit, and he smiles, his big smile, and his teeth are kind of discolored, and he says, hey, you want to dance? And I walk with a cane, as I said, and so I just pointed to the cane and said, sorry, I can't dance. It was like, once again, the cane saves me. And so he just kind of wanders off to the jukebox. And as we're walking towards the mural, the jukebox was on the left, and it was this antique Wurlitzer, beautiful jukebox. It was the round topped with the neon lights inside, and it played vinyl 45 records. This was, you don't see those anymore except in museums. And he goes over and he drops a coin in, and the record goes down. And as we started walking across the floor, the song that started playing was Chubby Checker, Let's Twist Again, like we did last summer. And everybody just kind of stands there, and a couple of ladies get up, a few people get up and just kind of shuffle, dance as we walk across the dance floor to the mural. And we're looking at it, and it was a very unusual painting. It was like a stage backdrop, almost in the way it was done, because the picture sort of faded out at the edges. So it looked like it was trying to create an illusion that was part of the saloon. Although the characters were larger than life, if you were at the other side of the room, you could almost imagine a movie scene on the other side. But the way it was painted was with really like almost garish colors, bright. The perspective was a little bit off, and it looked like it was bottom lit, like old, footlights coming up. So it was kind of it was disturbing to look at it to me. It was not a pleasant, it wasn't like, oh, look, the Old West. It was like, oh, that's, it's kind of weird. So we're just looking at it, and the record stops, and then I think it was about this time that Bob turns and looks over to his side, and he's looking up at the mural, and he's looking at the guys, and the guys never started playing pool. I don't think I heard pool balls at all. I didn't notice other people. They were holding drinks, but I didn't notice anybody else drinking or really doing something, except when the guy by the jukebox put another quarter in. And this was after there was probably a 10-minute break between the first song, and he put the quarter in, maybe not that long, 5, another quarter or whatever in, probably a dime in a Wurlitzer, and the same song started playing. And once again, people just kind of stood up and just kind of, so like the ladies walked out onto the dance floor, and the pool guys set the stuff down and just kind of danced a little bit, and then the music stopped. And they just, without talking, nobody was talking, it was a bar, and they just went back to their places. And that's when Bob noticed. We watched him go back, and we're just kind of looking at each other like, this is just weird. These people are odd. And he looks at the mural, and he looks at the guys over by the pool table, and he nudges me. He says, T.I., look look at those guys there. And there was in the painting, there was a gambling table, and there were gamblers sitting around the table. And he said, look at those guys, and then look at the guys at the pool table. And he says, don't, be nonchalant. I'm looking at it. And it was them. It wasn't identical, but it was clearly them. I mean, it was the same body types, the same facial features. They were being depicted in that painting. And so we started looking at the other characters in the mural and finding them in the bar. And every person in the mural was in the bar. The ladies, one of them was leaning over, there was a piano player, and the guy who was putting the money in the Wurlitzer was the piano player. And one of the ladies was like one of the bar fly ladies leaning over the piano. And then there was a younger lady that was like up on a singing, or this blonde, but they were all in there. They were all different characters. And the bartender was very striking. He was wearing this, a tank top t-shirt, and he had huge chest muscles. He looked like a farm kid that lift bales of hay, and just this tank top and big muscles. And he had this great big smile, and he's probably in his 20s or something. And he said, hi, he spoke to us, and he was there, and he was standing there, same muscles you could see through the shirt. And he was like a gunslinger. He had a cowboy hat on, and he was coming in, the gunslinger up there, looking real cool. And so we got it was weird at first, and they said, these people are obviously regulars. And wouldn't it be a cool thing to do if you were a mural artist, to take the people, maybe they're the owners, maybe you're celebrating a party or something, and so it's their place and they're in the mural. And we said, yeah, that's probably right. And so he said, well, let's ask them. So our beers were empty, so we walked back across the big dance floor, and as we walked across the big dance floor for a third time, the guy by the jukebox, who never left the side of the jukebox except to dance, put another coin in the jukebox, and it played the exact same song. Now that sent shivers up my spine, and it does right now still, because if I was smart, I'd have left right then. But 2 times, person play a song 2 times in a row, that could be your favorite song. That could be a memory, that you want to redo. But 3 times and nothing else in between, that was just weird. So I said, maybe we should just go. And Bob says, oh, no, I want to find out who painted this. I want to find out more about the mural. Let's ask the bartender. And so I'm like, okay, we go back to the bar and order another beer. And Bob says, so is that all you guys in the mural? And the bartender's leaning on the bar like this, smiling, and says nothing. And I'm like, did the artist paint you guys in the mural over there? And he's just no answer. And so I addressed the ladies on the other side of the bar. I said, that's you guys up in there, isn't it? Did you pose for this, or did you get photos, or how did this work? And they just looked at me. It was like we didn't speak the same language. They did not respond. And that was just like, we're like, maybe people, and so you make excuses, you rationalize. And Bob says, well, maybe they've been here all night. And I said, the bartender. But so he says, well, let's just go back and take one more look, and then we'll get out of here. So as we're going back, the music is still playing. And as we're halfway across the dance floor, I look at the mural, and there's 2 more figures in that mural. And there was the swinging saloon doors off in the corner off to the side there. And it looked like there were 2 shadows, and it was like gray, no features. You couldn't see any features, but you could see that it had color, was starting to, I can't say, I didn't see it change, but it looked like it was painted to start give the illusion of color. coming in, and I noticed that the woman, and it was a woman and a man, and it looked like us. The height difference, curly hair, you could see it, but it was still just a silhouette. And I had a pink skirt, a pink longer skirt on, and the color in the skirt was pinkish. And I grabbed Bob's arm, and that's when I noticed that the woman had a cane. Now, I gotta tell you, if it was just, I've got shivers all over my body right now retelling this because I feel like it was this close to never coming out of that place. If I hadn't had the cane, I may not have realized what was really going on. And what was really going on is we were starting to become part of that mural. Not become, I don't know how that is. I don't know how that works or what that is. But boy, I saw that cane and we looked at each other and we said, let's get the bleep out of here. And we turned and he kind of grabbed me and pulled me along. We just dropped the beers on the thing. And everybody, as we were leaving, stood up and just watched us go. And the music is playing for the fourth time. Let's Twist Again like we did last summer. And we hit that door and pulled the door open. And the guy the guy at the Wurlitzer, he says, wait. And the door closed behind us. And bam, pitch darkness and no sound. And I froze because I didn't know where my footing was, and I did not want to fall down and get stuck there. And both of us just stopped, and Bob said, don't move. I'm going to go start the car and turn the lights on. And he did. He turned the lights on. He came back and he got me. And as we were pulling out, it wasn't lights on the outside of a wooden building. It was windows that had the beer signs and the open sign and the Roadhouse Saloon sign. And those windows were dark and the signs were all off. And as we turned, he goes, and the gravel is going up behind the car. And as we turned, there were no cars in the parking lot and nobody left when we were in there. Nobody arrived, nobody left. And we pulled out and got back on that highway and didn't say a word. We just kind of sat there stunned, just feeling like stunned, just overwhelmed at what had just happened. And finally, we looked at each other and said, did that really happen? And Bob said, yeah, that just really happened. And I said, what happened? He said, I have no idea what happened, but we just got out of there by the skin of our teeth. And we drove down the highway.
Okay, so the link that Scott originally sent me for this story was called the Time Warp Saloon. It didn't have the Roadhouse, so I didn't know this video existed. But the young lady who wrote, who I think used this story for her story called the Time Warp Saloon, in her story, and I don't know if the lady went on further, Scott, in this video, but they supposedly came back with a couple of friends because the friends didn't believe them and told them there would be nothing to be afraid of. Let's just go check it out. And when they went back there were all different people inside. And when they approached the bartender and told them what happened, the bartender, just kind of looked at them, according to this girl's story, and said that that's not possible. I'm the only bartender at this saloon, and I closed the saloon at, I think she said 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think she said like midnight or something. Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
And I think it was like her father, like maybe her father and daughter owned it or something. But yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else was bartending. They're like,
yeah.
No, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And this was
after hours. Story.
Yeah. So this was after hours, like 3 a.m. She was coming from a party, and she just needed to use the bathroom. Seen this bar was open, and actually vacant. Ooh, crazy, right? But this place is an actual bar that it's running and working, but it has this creepy mural on it. So what we want to try to figure out here with our, our intuition and our cards,
Just exactly what the hell was going
what the heck happened? Is there, like
on?
something happened a long time ago when this mural was created to create this warp, or is this bar on someplace? But as far as I can find, there's only one occurrence at this bar that it happened like that.
How
But
about if they're even telling the truth?
right, is she making it up? Was she delusional? The let's see.
No, they weren't
Oh,
purple. No, they weren't, Deb. I don't think. Were they, Scott? They weren't in the mural. It was just the plain regular mural that was originally painted for the
right,
bar.
there's an original mural that is in that bar to this day, but she described that she and her husband started ghostly going into that mural, and that's when they got freaked out and were like, "We gotta get out of there."
That's
I
a
didn't
good point Kala just brought up. Who's the person that painted it?
right. I didn't find that who painted it.
That's a
There's
little
limited
twisted.
information on the web about this place, in this story. That was the only video I could find to try to help describe it, but it's just super creepy. To go in and find a time warp where you're like
Yeah.
going back 50 years or whatever, and all
Yep.
these people are in different clothes, not doing anything. Everyone's in the same position.
What's
Couple people
interesting is I know
can't.
when you do a
Couple
lot of
people playing cards. A couple people playing pool, but they're not playing cards and pool. They're sitting at the table.
yeah, it reminds
So
me of that stone tape, wood tape. Um, 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 oh, it's not a method. It's just something that it's a theory. Stone tape. So when paranormal investigators go to a place, if certain events happen that had so much energy put into it, it gets trapped into the walls, into the floor, into maybe even this mural. So I'm wondering if it was like a stone tape memory that they were walking into that just happened to be playing. I mean, it's 3 o'clock in the morning when they're there, and typically 3 o'clock is a lot of times when the veils are thinnest between the worlds.
yeah,
And so they may have walked right into one of those stone tape replays, but to actually physically make contact though with these spirits, these entities, and actually drink a beer. I mean, that's scary to have that kind of solidity, to that experience.
Hmm. Well, I'm trying Andrea's cards first to see if I can get in this energy of how, what, where, and why she's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, just give me the deets on her and see, about the experience and just get a basic layout, of what could
First,
you imagine?
I know, right? First with Andrea's cards, I'm going to do the my tarot too to try to get in that energy. I know, right, Callie? Callie, it's like a Stephen King. So this is the gift card, offering her a rose. It's kind of like a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this card coming out from Andrea's. It's the clouded universe, dimensions,
Mm-hmm.
the matrix, everything involved with our universe. And then we have the bar. So you got the home card and someone that owned it previously. What I'm getting here, happy home. Someone owned it previously. I'm sensing it's not the mural painter. So there's some kind of warp. But then I have negative and like the chakra balance, all the chakra colors So it's negative. So the person that probably owned it possibly was, um, it really feels like it evolves from him, the original owner or something like that, and that placed that mural and everything. But he may have passed from a bad experience or something like that. So he's kind of attached to the place yet, what I'm feeling here. And then I have a cold case, the spirit world, and the rabbit in the hat. This is really weird. So I got to see what the tarot has.
You want to know what my first card was?
What do you get in here?
TikTok time.
Time.
There's the time card. I do believe she's telling the truth. There's
Yeah.
a loyal heart that's hurt her husband. They came to the edge. That what they were experiencing nearly brought them to the edge, and it's interesting, and it's imagination. So I think it may. I'm just wondering if it had to do with somebody connected to the mural. I don't know about the artist, but they were brought to the edge through imagination. And imagination, for me, connects with creativity and possibly with the artist. So those are the first initial cards that I got. Then I got, wow, this is kind of weird. Six of Pentacles, which to me doesn't make sense because it's, charity, giving to another person, unless this was the payment for the mural. The Page of Wands is an individual who's very creative. But then get what my last card was. I got the Devil card. Not saying it was the devil, but there was something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
some
with that.
sort of mystical, magical, I don't want to necessarily maybe curse or something, maybe around that place at that time, or might have been around the individual who painted that or who had it painted. The Magician, it was created. Yeah, to me it was created, I'm getting, as a way to, I hate to say it, maybe trap souls, or the intention.
Let's see who.
Here, I'm gonna, the world. Oh, here we go. The world. It keeps repeating. So I'm wondering if this keeps repeating.
I had the world.
The time warp. Oh, you had the
Yeah,
world already? Cool.
I had the world card. I forgot to put that up, but it was on the bottom of the deck with Andrea's cards.
Yeah,
I had the world. I forgot to put that one.
Thing here. Yeah, someone had this paid. One giving to another. Someone very creative to create something that could possibly repeat itself and to trap. I don't want to say trap souls, or well, wow, this is more like a Dead Files episode. Than I want to shuffle more on it. I want to get a clarity card on that, on the devil. Whoop! And the cards go falling all over the place.
All right, we're trying to figure out why and how this happened.
Okay.
So I used my cards on this.
Which ones? I'll grab mine too.
I think it has to do with the building.
Okay.
And it does feel like it has to do with, like someone that owned it or someone that lived there, if there's an apartment above or whatever. And it does feel like that that mural is connected to it.
Mm-hmm. Possibly someone opened a portal there that was kind of hinky.
So with my cards, I got the Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. So something drastic happened there to keep the place alive. And I have the 9-10 of coins here, mine. That's ancestors and links, and it's also substance, which I would which I would think is like the building. And I have angelic energy, light, and like a portal. We got light here. It's the universal energy, and then the Ace of Wands is also energy coming through.
Mm.
I have more energy, and with the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Swords is clarity coming through.
So I
Yeah,
just used your
right,
cards
Chris.
too.
Chris Martin. Yeah, it's like the people in the mural were pulling them through. It's like something happened drastic at that
Yeah,
place, and energy is still there.
there was a I used your cards too, and I'm getting a lot of like there's the swords, there's the bad weather, um,
Yeah.
painful ending, nightmares. I mean that was a nightmare. So someone I feel like either intentionally put that energy into that place for that to happen, or bad weather, a tragic event opened up that portal. Um, Boundaries were broken. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm still learning your cards, but I wanted to use them along with you
Yeah, that's
tonight.
cool. It's all
Burdens,
part of the
stress,
process.
stress. And then I got the courthouse, clarity, justice, consequences, yin and yang. So there were consequences to this occurrence that put that energy into that building. And then the last one I got was hope and faith. I got the Duchess, um, angel,
Well,
hope.
that's angelic energy, energy from
Yeah.
above. Yeah. So I
So
grabbed my other cards too to kind of clarify why did that happen.
maybe that's what protected them from being pulled into it.
Yeah, their
They were
intuition probably.
protected.
Yeah.
The angels protected them and brought their attention to that mural, um, to see that it wasn't, that they had to get out of there.
So I grabbed my other cards too to kind of clarify a little bit. And I did have Six of Cups here. So that's like something happened in the past. And then I have to the building or whatever. There was some kind of heartbreak, some kind of loss, some kind of, like murders or catastrophe. Like I truly sense all the time when I start tapping into like, when there is hauntings, like our next the other story, too, when tragedies happen, some of these souls can be that energy of all these bad things that happen can stick around. Not necessarily a lot of souls could stick around. They may move on, but just the energy of the tragedy, whether it's murders or people die in a fire, whatever it may be, and even like these, like Alcatraz and all that,
Yeah.
or insane asylums, all that bad energy, sticks with the property because everything's energy, everything's connected.
I just don't know
So
how they had solid, tape theory like somebody originally mentioned. There's you see just the visuals. There's no physical contact, and yet
right, there
they
was
were
no
being
contact.
handed. So that's extreme paranormal. I mean,
Yeah, she never talked about dance. Some guy asked her to dance, and she's like, "Oh, I can't because I'm got a cane." The jukebox guy, trying the whole thing. All others are souls that he's trapped there with. I gotta ask that. We ought to ask that.
yeah, because some of these cards.
Oh, look at that. So, yeah, there is some kind of issues with the property or the building. So I also had the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. And what it says in this card is abducted friends.
Oh,
So like
and they almost did.
these people in this mural, in this whole scenario, are all connected to this whole scenario. This is creepy. But
I just
it's really weird why it only happened reportedly one time.
That's weird. Because the jukebox
Trying to
guy, I
figure
don't
out
think they'll.
why. I'm trying to figure out why it happened to them. If it was just that time of the year, there was
I
something
don't know. I
open
got
or energy.
serendipity. I got serendipity, like it's always almost supposed to happen. Then I got time for a nap, and I'm wondering if that means those souls are kind of like in the whole air thing is like a dream state. Because like when you nap, you're kind of caught in between both worlds at the same time. And I got the to be fair, which is balance. So I think they,
Well, that is funny. I
by
did
by
get.
them going in, it was an unbalancing. Everything had been playing out as regular, but them walking in, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to bring them to balance something out that energy wise maybe in the building. Um, then I got the fates card. It was fated to happen, or
Yeah, just crazy. Well, it did.
soulmates.
Like we said, it did happen at the spooky hour, after
Yep,
bar
that's when
time, 2, 3 in
veils
the
are
morning.
thinnest. Yep, I'll go
Let's
grab
see.
my other cards.
I'd like to ask why it happened to them. Did the
I'm going to
universe
ask
know?
about
Or,
the jukebox guy. I'm not feeling it was the jukebox guy though. It just feels like because only one person talked to them, and it was the guy who asked the lady for a dance. And I think if she accepted, that would have been it for her.
yeah, I think they said they talked to. She said they talked to the bartender.
Oh, but they just smiled. Oh, only when they asked about the mural, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, they asked about the mirror. They asked for beers. See, Chris, there is what? Vampire energy? What is it?
Vampiric.
Vampiric
Like their
energy?
energy, they were sucking their souls for energy to keep themselves going on that location.
Hi,
Yeah,
Ange.
needs
How
new
you
soul
doing?
energy. Hey,
Why?
Ange.
Why did it happen to those two?
Yeah, I got the
I'm
serendipity card for them. That was
well.
weird.
I just asked in my mind why did it happen to those two. I was getting their souls were connected to that place in a previous time.
Oh,
That's what my guy just told me. Even though they're older or whatever, but that land or that energy, that's why they were drawn to go there, or why she had to go to the bathroom at that time, or whatever the case may be.
mm. Yeah. In the beginning, I did get that loyalty card. It was TikTok loyalty. It had the two owls, so that might have been what brought that, and it was serendipity for them to come back to that place.
Yeah,
Um,
energy.
so I got the Knight of Pentacles, which is slow moving,
Ooh,
earthy energy. Nine of Pentacles to me represents, like
yeah.
their garden that they're maintaining. The bar and the saloon is that garden, is that haven for those souls. An Ace of Swords, um, new ideas, and the Chariot to carry them forward. So I'm not sure about the Ace of Swords, but I can see those energies bringing them towards, because they were driving. They were drawn to that bar for a reason. And but then I got this though, as if it was a brand new idea instead of them being an old soul. That's weird.
But the Ace of Swords is trapped.
Ace
It's
of
like
Swords is trap.
yeah, it's like
I
it's
would
stuff
think
you
eight.
it's
I would
stuff
think of
you've
Eight of
done.
Swords.
Right, the Eight of Swords. It's trapped. You've done it to
No,
yourself. You may have
this
done
is
it
the
before. Oh,
this is
Ace.
the
I thought you said.
Ace.
I thought you said
No,
eight.
this is why I'm confused with the aces.
Okay.
It's like a brand
It's
new
the Ace
idea,
of
unless that
Swords.
was they put that idea into their heads to go check out this place.
Gotcha. Yep.
That was sent out, and then there they are in the chariot. They come there.
Well, I threw again on why them. I got the Ace of Swords too.
Wow. I'm going to ask her to
So
clarify about the Ace of
yeah,
Swords.
so what I have coming out here is my devil death card,
I got the devil before too.
and then the Wheel of Fortune here is all about life and death. You know, it can be past lives and everything, and then I had the Six of Cups, things they've done before. Circle of life, they've been there, and then here's the death card.
Wow.
They've been there in another life, and they were drawn to that place. And it's
There's
all
my
meant.
clarifier.
Yeah,
That's my
it's like
clarifier for the Ace of
they
Swords.
may have lived on that property at one time.
And it was extremely painful.
Yeah, it was
The
painful.
husband
They may
who
have
died there.
died. They just didn't know it. You know, that's why she's probably limping. Maybe got a wife needs the cane because it could have been some influence from that life.
From that lifetime. Wow. Now this one, you could it's like a big can of worms. You can just take so many components. You know, take him, her, the mural, the artist, you know, the land, the building.
Yes, it's all
Here's a great idea.
it's all
Call the
related.
bar.
Yeah,
Call the
call
bar
the bar.
next.
So we're doing a reading on the bar in the mural. We need a history on the place.
Yeah.
Who was it before? But yeah, I mean,
I'll
it's
have
like
to look
any.
into that.
I tried. I couldn't find much information about
I
it.
couldn't find anything except that one, and I think this is what's weird, is because when you sent me that link, it was that young lady. She changed the name from Roadhouse to Time Warp Saloon for her story, and
Yeah.
everything matched. And when I would go on YouTube and anywhere else, I kept typing in Time Warp Saloon, and all I kept getting was the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, I got
Like,
that
this
too.
doesn't make sense. And if I had known, oh, this was the name of it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like our, things that happen in our own lives. It's all connected, and you meet up with things you're dealing with in your past life, and it all just came together. I believe what I'm sensing here is that those two in past life may have lived in that property, and they may have passed. I got the Three of Swords earlier too. There's some kind of heartbreak with that property for them.
Oh, I
And it
got the
opened
Four
up.
of Swords. To me, this is like also a death card for me.
Yeah,
Because you're either at rest.
you're at rest.
And they're not. And those people aren't. Their souls were at rest for that. King of Swords.
Oops.
Another
No, I don't want
Swords. And then
Let's
the King of
see.
Wands. Yeah. Just a lot of pain.
Can you
Okay.
hit this? Where is it?
Yep.
Wait a minute. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't have the. Never mind. I thought this.
Yeah, that's the way I saw it.
Never mind. I
Yep,
thought this
there
link
it
had.
is.
Well, I thought the link had a picture of the mural again.
No, this is the one that was rewritten, and she called it the Time Warp Saloon, and she made it out like that was her actual story. She's a high schooler, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, the picture of the mural is online. If you type in Roadhouse Saloon or Time Warp Saloon.
It was weird.
It was on the video too. Briefly, whatever, but.
My bad. Maybe I wasn't meant to. That's interesting. It's that saloon messing with me.
Yeah. Do you want to go on the next? Do you want to go on the next one, or do you think you got anything else?
I don't know. I think we've got everything on this. I would love to look into this more often and kind of do like an update read behind the scenes and kind of present and see what I get, later on, maybe, knowing a little bit more information. But definitely that's cool.
That was very cool.
And Chris Martin is right. I'm an artist. I know my energy goes into a lot of paintings. And
definitely.
so, yeah, you put your heart and soul into some of these things, and it'll follow you. Most definitely.
So, yeah, I mean, for myself, I was definitely they were attracted to that place for a reason and put in that place. Yeah. But what was created had to come from that property. You know, the energy in the ground and connected
I was told to
with that
put this
mural.
card up off the top of my deck.
Time to go.
Yeah, that was them. Yeah, time to go. And they weren't meant to stay with them anymore. It was time for them to. But that I think that experience was supposed to open their eyes to something though. I wonder what kind of changes ended up in their lives from having that experience, because you just don't have an experience like that with a place that you had connection to. It was like supposed to be like maybe some sort of closure or something, and that's why that last card was time to go. They brushed their hands off, and they left that behind. So yep,
Yeah,
check out
that
my hotel most
it's
definitely.
like a deja vu thing or whatever. It's really creepy.
Okay, on to the next.
All right, good. I don't. Let's
I'm just gonna
see.
say hi really quick to some people. Kaz, trying to track artists now. Oh, okay, Kaz. Jumpy, Ange jumped in. I know Gina got a little scared, and she ran. She didn't ran. She quickly took off. Deb H is here. Kala Lily. Oh, Kala Lizzie. Sorry, I'm still used to calling her Lily. Thanks, Chris, for stopping by. Kala Lizzie put something up there too. The Hawthorne Hotel is often ranked as one of the most haunted. Oh yeah, there are a lot of hotels. When I invite a guest onto the urban legends and mysteries segments that I love to do, I like to have them pick something from their area because they have so much knowledge and understanding of the place and the history. So when I reached out to Scott, I asked him, right up at anything near you, that you would be interested in reading on. That's part of your home. That's part of your history that you would like to read on.
I
Sharon.
found those two.
Yep. All
I
righty.
mean, there's creepy places. Um, in Milwaukee, there's the Pfizer Hotel. I stayed there one time for a wedding in Nancy's family. I didn't have any ghostly experiences, but people always talk about having seeing a ghost in that Pfizer Hotel in downtown Milwaukee.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of places here in Buffalo, and it's interesting too. Just want to interject really
I,
quick with this saloon. When they said it was a Wurlitzer, where I live, just a few miles down the road, is the Wurlitzer building where all the Wurlitzers were ever made in the world. So
really?
that jukebox came from here.
Oh, that's crazy. The
Mm-hmm.
whole town. Our
Whole
two
town.
stories aren't from the same hotel or same town.
So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, Wurlitzer building down here is where they were all made, and the home of the carousel. So North Tonawanda is the home where the first carousel was created, and Wurlitzer also in North Tonawanda, where the very first Wurlitzer jukeboxes were made.
So so this hotel was created in 1900. Was built. And it's all
Mm-hmm.
stone, and there was like some springs near there,
Yep,
and
Healing Spring.
healing springs. Rich people would come up from Chicago and all the world and healing. It was a fabulous hotel back in the 1900s and whatnot when it was first created.
Yeah, it was
Um,
finally finished in 1900 by two brothers, one being a pastor, a priest for the Catholic Church.
so then the history of the hotel, it burned 3 times, and each time on the exact same date, and it was rebuilt twice. The first fire was in the 20s. The last fire was in the 30s. And in the 30s, everyone died that was there in their sleep. And the skeletal remains of the victims were found on the third floor and in the basement. And then years later, one of the hotel guests went psycho and killed everyone in the hotel in a mass murder frenzy.
Okay.
So spirits of those killed could be lingering in that building, the spirit activity and whatnot. Supposedly, rumor has it, we don't know for sure, but some witches conducted rituals there
To open the
and
portal to hell.
cursed the hotel and supposedly put a portal to hell in the fountain in front of the building. But then it said that there was a good witch that came there and closed that portal. This is just rumor, talk, whatever.
That's
So,
all the rumor mill.
so it was used as a spa. Um, when it's what?
Yes, it says
And
here
like,
the hotel had only burned once. I guess somebody did a full investigation, and they discovered that the hotel had burned only once in June of 1985, although the cause also was unknown. Nobody was killed in the fire, and there were no skeletal remains.
yeah, that was
They
the
said
last time. Yeah,
there's no evidence of a portal to hell. Though some
right.
I would some would disagree because I do feel something there. There's no
Yeah,
evidence of mass murder or suicide at the hotel, um, but yes, it did operate as a spa and springs for people.
it had a lot of different owners. It had good times, bad times, but it was like one of a kind of place back in the day.
Hmm.
Well,
I feel that.
this guy that posted this did an investigation, but this is after the fact of everything. Um, but he said there was no evidence of a portal to hell. There was no evidence of a mass murder suicide. Um, it did operate as a health spa where people can benefit from therapeutics. Supposedly they were bottling and the mineral water and sending it around the country. Um, rumored that possibly Al Capone could have been there, but there's no evidence. But
They said
they
it would
are,
have been a good hideout because they said that was between Chicago and Wisconsin on the Bootleg Trail. So they said that might
yeah,
have been kind of like a covert in between stop for them, which I can totally see that happening.
yeah. There was what? Um,
They said there was a boy that had died in a fire, but they said there's no evidence to really support that a young child had died at the bottling factory.
yeah. So they talked about competing mafia, whatever. Al Capone and Don Dillinger. Supposedly they were competing, so they wouldn't have been there together. Most likely, they didn't really like each other, supposedly. And there was no evidence of any secret passageways or hidden treasures ever found there. And there's no evidence supporting the story that a little boy died in a fire at the bottling factory. So, reputed phenomenon. There's a number of sightings of a figure standing in a window. Many people reporting stories of hearing strange noises, voices, screams in the basement, footsteps, ringing bells, and things moving around.
Yep.
In the caves, there's been people reported smelling like dead horses or something, like smell of death.
Yeah, sewer gases, that kind of thing. That could have been what caused the initial fire. Was if you've got those kind of minerals in your water, and if there's a bit of sulfur or not, proper sewage, that could have easily been set off, and caused the fire.
The ghost of the little boy who died. Some people say they have seen someone playing on the roof. And during the new moon, people reported the building glows. And some say maybe possibly blood has been seen on the walls.
Ugh.
So,
Yeah. Well, that's the stone that they used from the quarry is really super light in color. So a lot of people easily debunk the glowing, building under the full moon as just being the reflection of the light off of the white stones. And there was a picture, I did take a look at it, where it said, "Can you see a figure? What do you think?" But when I enlarged it, to me, it looked like it was just that pareidolia where you could see some of the shadow hitting part of the brick with the light to kind of create a figure in there.
Hmm.
But yeah, I had to take a double look.
But it has been reported that it has had 3 fires. That it's been rebuilt 2 other times, and then a tornado came through
Yeah, it
and
demolished.
wiped out the original building. So it's just on the property, and you have to get permission to go there. There has been numerous paranormal people going through there, and they have gotten some EVPs of stuff, but nothing major.
I'm just going to pull up what it looks like now from that one article you sent me. So this is the before picture, and after the that's the wrong one. And well, that is the before picture, and here is what is left over after the tornado went through. Whoops, right there.
Yep,
That's all that's left.
there's not
It
much
really
left.
demolished it.
That's right, Kylie. Thank you for that information.
So,
Or
what's
Lizzie,
the first
whatever you want to
question
call it.
you would like to ask about?
I want to get in the energy of this portal to hell.
Okay.
Is that a bunch of nonsense? Just a mystery story, or did it actually occur that these black witches supposedly cursed it and
Yeah.
made a portal to hell, and because of the fires or whatever in that fountain?
And there's also another building just away from there that was a horse stall. And there was another video on YouTube where an actual husband and wife witch went to go check it out with their puppy dog, and they stated that they had heard that it had housed witches at one point, and they did rituals there, and they kind of rolled their eyes, and I kind of rolled my eyes. But hey,
You never know. It's been
something goes wrong, blame the
from
local
reading the
witches.
history. It has, like I said, it's been sold and bought numerous times. There's been bankruptcies of people that owned it, didn't run it right or whatever. Um, it's been vacant for a lot of times. It needed upgrading. They could have had electrical fires, or it could have been ghostly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's get in the energy and what actually is up
I
with
would
this
love to see that
software.
place. You got some cool places there in Wisconsin, Scott.
Oh, there's a lot more. I mean, we search all of
That
those, all kinds
holy
of go great things.
hill, that Mirabel. When I asked about the port of hell, I got the crap card.
Ooh,
I looked down, I saw poo, and I went, okay. So I'm thinking that, and I like it with the broken credit card because I think they might say that to kind of bring people in, for tourism, maybe to come into town to view this. So maybe that could be what that is to help bring, because it does says loss of money, problems, struggles. So it could either imply that it's, the story is BS, or that something was opened, or the energy of the land was manipulated that caused, you know, the loss of the building, money problems, struggling for the family as well. And then I got the better times, calming journey, moving, traveling, and forgiveness. So yeah, I'm feeling like there's no portal to hell there. Um, Not with
yeah,
this picture with the beautiful placid
the
lake
calm.
and the calming, the forgiveness, the travel, like the word travel again, tourism, maybe bringing people over. And then I got the King of Wands, leader, honor, courage, inventor, and creative. So it might have been just a story that was created to help, bring more people in to hype up the story,
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
So,
getting on the portal to hell, that there is portal to hell.
yeah, so my throw I got with the portal to hell and that fountain, I got the 901s and hangman. So there may have been something in that area because the hangman, look at how this hangman is. It almost looks like the fountain there with someone
Here, let me
above
put
it.
you on the here. Let me put you on the hot seat. There we go.
So that you see that hangman, it almost looks like the
Hmm.
fountain and someone over it. So there may have been
Oh,
something tried. And the 901s here shows like power, some kind of pervasive power. So it may have been something tried. And then I had the two of swords.
mm.
So here's almost like the fountain
There's that
again. It's
circle
kind of,
again. Yep.
yeah, it's tried, but there's a problem. This also says deeply about the problem before them. So it wasn't created. It wasn't worked because I have the Empress coming in and then the Four of Wands. There's some kind of uniting. This type of BS can't be. It can't be happening. And then I have Temperance. So that none of this suggests any kind of hellish or bad, you know, activity in this reported fountain of hell or port of hell. That never happened.
Yeah, they said it was a beautiful fountain where people can go and drink from. They would splash the water on them. And the place. What's interesting too is the place was built by a local priest and his brother, and so not saying that that can't create, that would mean automatically, well, you can't have anything evil there, because we know I've seen recently videos where for some reason churches are severely haunted by evil entities, which kind of blows my mind, because it's like, how can something evil live in a place that's supposed to be holy? So there may have been, maybe at some point, with him coming in and working on and creating the building, um, with him being a father, the holiness may not have sat too well with maybe some of the um, um, elementals or spirits or entities that were on that land originally before then, that might have caused a little bit of a, but I don't feel
There's a,
anything
you
that
know, there's a lot of Native American ancestry as you go north. There's a lot of reservations in northern Wisconsin here. So now I'm going to get in the energy and think, why did this all happen? So it was prosperous for like 20 some years until that first fire in the 20s.
So you believe there was more than one fire?
That's reported. Yeah, I think so. Because
Okay.
the reports say from history documents that it's been rebuilt a few times.
Okay.
So there was a fire in the 20s that killed people, and then in the 30s again,
I'm
and
gonna grab my pendulum.
then there was supposedly something that happened later, and then it sat empty, and then a tornado knocked down the rest of the building.
It's like it wasn't meant to be there, after a certain point. But I'm going to ask if there was more than one fires at the hotel.
Cool, Linda. Keep giving us your input there, sweetheart. All right. Oh,
Okay, now it's interesting. The investigator may not have done enough digging, because my pendulum said yes, that there were three, or at least three. And I asked if there was only one, and it told me no.
okay. Let's see what my cards have to say. I just did a general throw on why everything happened in this place. I'm getting the first fire here, and what happened. I'm thinking, let's see what you get. But I'm thinking the guy that owned the place at that time was losing money, and it feels like he wanted insurance money. I have the King of Wands. So here's the guy coming up with the idea, and I think it was the owner. And then here we got fire. The tower.
Oh,
Look at that. The tower comes up. Here's fire.
oh
Doesn't
my
get any
God.
more. And then I have, a new idea. The Page of Wands whistleblower. So here's the property, the farm, the traditions, the structure, everything. And something he did in the past causing issues, and he came up with this idea to get out of his problems. He was burdened. There was a lot of arguing within. He needed money with the 6, 7, 8 of coins. He took charge, and then I had the Queen of Cups, and there was success. So I think there was a payout or something, but we had that tower, and all these people died.
Oh, jeez.
It's reported, and I believe it's true. What I'm sensing is that the whole third floor people died during this, and it feels like he wanted insurance money
Yep.
because the property was going bankrupt.
Okay. Are you done?
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna throw again on something, though. I'm just wondering what you feel now.
Yep. Well, I got the Knight of Pentacles. So there you go. There he is with the money, trying to figure out. Money was slow coming in. Page of Swords. He had a great idea because he was tired of feeling trapped. So he was being financially, he was trapped in this place,
There's that.
losing money. So he needed to get a payout. He needed to make money. And so what did he do? He set fire. And there it is.
Oh,
Setting fire.
there's that wand with one fire. Is that
Yep.
the 7? Is that the 7 of
That's the
wands?
Seven of Wands. Yep.
Okay.
He had all
Yep.
these things coming at him. I know it's going down this way, but for me, it's like it's either coming at him or like bills and things that he cannot pay, he cannot upkeep with, or this is just his finances straining. And so, what's the idea? Setting fire. With your cards, I got dark times, spirits, transitions. So this is still
Yep.
surrounding the place. And I got the moon, secrets, dark thoughts, energy off, and depression for what he did.
Yep.
And he did it to make money, to have that, bring in that harvest for the security, the health, new income. I didn't, ask about, the deaths because I can't imagine.
So that's what I'm asking now. Is because of that first major fire, that traumatic energy of those souls that passed. I'm sure it's horrifying. You're all sleeping and you all get burnt to crisp. Got to be horrifying for those souls and that bad energy stuck there. And it just made the collapse of the property, probably.
I'm just gonna see what we got here. As Native Americans, this hotel has darkness aplenty. Yeah.
I mean, we got to take things one at a time to get the energy. Because that was my original feeling. Is like the property went down. I mean, it was prosperous for 20 some years, And then there was a downturn, and every time someone built it up, there was another downturn.
Well, 20 years, that might have been roughly around the Great Depression too, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
Built in 1900, so it would be 20. So after 20 or 25 years, that would be leading right up into, the decline, and then boom, the Great Depression hit.
So I grabbed Andrea's cards and I go, yep, we're speaking the truth. Okay. Yep. Secrets. What to believe.
This is a camping co-create. Yep, deep knowing. I got the deep knowing card. Truth. Co-creating. He worked. Yeah, either he did it himself or he brought somebody in. It was there was like a co-conspirator. They created this. Um, I really hope that that story wasn't true about the people losing their lives, though. That's the, a building can be rebuilt. It's just material.
Here you go.
Lives can't be.
This is
Oh,
with Andrea's cards.
so yes, that the people did perish.
Yes. See? Here's all the people.
Oh man.
Chaos and the redacted secrets.
Yeah. Yeah. Came to the edge. Truth be told, so yes, all that glitters. It was all for money. Good Lord.
Use the way station. Lizzie's talking about Capone here because there was a little info about Capone. We could toss a few, 3 cards to see if Capone was involved with. There's rumors that he was running booze through there or something too, and they weren't running actually water. But nothing of that's been confirmed or reported. It's just rumor. One guy I talked to or watched said, like I said, that other guy and Capone would never been together because they're competing mafia.
I found out that I had a great great aunt who was a dancer for Capone because my
What's that?
family's from Chicago. I have a great great aunt who was a dancer for Capone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my grandmother's one side had a vaudeville family, and I guess one of my great aunts was apparently one of Capone's dancers for his club or something. So,
Dang. Hey, Amy.
hi,
I seen
Amy.
you were on with Tans earlier. I snagged a little bit of that live. Okay. I'm going to stay with Andrea's cards here. See if I can. I personally don't feel it, but we'll see what the cards have to say here. Nice to have confirmation with the cards. If Capone had anything to do there.
Ooh.
I do feel like he stopped there before, but I don't feel any business connections or anything
Yeah.
like that.
I got the Page of Wands. You're a whistleblower, news speaker. So for me, that was like it was an idea. Um,
Yeah, that's what I'm
but
sensing. Like he may have thought about something with that whistleblower and stuff, but I don't think
but
he.
subpoena being locked up and
Yeah.
everything. Courthouse. No. I think if he knew that
Look at goes out with Andrews.
courthouse.
The courthouse. Yeah. Look at
So
this.
yeah.
I got the whistleblower too with
Oh my
Andrews.
God. Yep. See, everybody says whistleblower right there.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So I'm
Yeah.
thinking he knew better of it, or this
Yeah,
might meant that he might have already been in jail at some point.
that could be
No, actually,
something.
no, he wasn't. It took a while to bring him down. Because I think it was Elliot Ness that brought down Capone. So that would have been later.
So yeah,
But yeah.
there was talk. There was some kind of talk about running booze or something through there. I think he did stop there and talk, but no, I got all money and negative.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out. So I don't feel like he spent a lot of time there. There was talk possibly, but yeah, as we're talking about Capone, I got guilty here too. But yeah,
I'm
that's
just going
crazy.
to.
It's just crazy. Look at this. This is Andrea's cards together. There's 100 something. You get the same ones you got.
Yep.
I love it.
Just like when they do the deck of character, 111 cards, and Debbie, you, Lisa, and them get the exact same.
That ain't great
I'm
odds.
I'm going to ask if the
It's like
spirits
winning
are
a
people
lotto.
claim to see in the window is real. I mean, there's got to be spirits there. I mean,
like I sense people that go through traumatic energy and any, tragic death. It is traumatic, especially if it's quick. So these souls won't know what happened to them, kind of feeling.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm getting. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. One of my great uncles on my dad's side helped take down that. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's badass, Amy.
It doesn't happen for everyone, but it's about when a tragedy happens and it's unknown and that bad energy, with everyone passing at the same time, it lingers. And it's even
The
like
energy. Yeah.
with Native Americans, if they were murdered in a battle or something, and they're not buried properly, that anger and stuff lingers, and it can linger in the ground and create bad energy.
So for me,
Yeah,
when
the
I asked
owner
about
who.
those,
Okay.
sorry, honey.
No, go
Let
ahead.
me
Sorry.
put this. No,
The
I'm just
owner
gonna
who
go
burned it would know the guest to be
here.
trapped. Okay. Let's see what
When I
that.
asked about the spirits, I did get that there was angelic balance, respect, and harmony. So I think most of the people that died in that fire, um, they were taken by the angels. You
Oh yeah,
know,
they definitely are.
grief, loss, all there, that might be what's left in that energy wise. But the last card just reinforces that their angels and guides took them. That they're in a place of love. Um, yeah, who knows? And maybe they're flying around in the universe on a spaceship. But yeah,
Yeah, it
I
depends
think
how. I put
there's going to
those
be
few.
some.
I put those few cards in there to use your own intuition, what you see. If you're reading on extraterrestrials, you want a card to pop out that has anything about them to understand it. So,
Hello, spirit in the sky.
um, cave walls echo energy. Could be, Chris. I don't sense they would be. Hey, Spirit Blue.
Yeah, that's a good question. Did the owner
Sometimes
know?
they can go to different areas. Generally, that energy is trapped. But I don't think it was more so most of the people that died in the fire. I think they, like you said too, they were greeted in love and light and heaven. But it's just a tragedy that happened that lingers.
It's interesting. I asked if there was any spirit or energy that was, still there from other um,
Yes, I
times,
believe that.
and
I'm
I did
sensing
get
that.
spirits.
Yes,
I did get the
there are
spirits.
spirits and stuff there.
Um,
But what I'm sensing
Wheel of
is,
Fortune,
yeah, the circle of
Circle of
life,
Life,
things come back around. It
Karma.
can be,
I'm wondering if one of those spirits is the one of the guy who burned it down and took the lives of those people. And then I got that as well. So there is
okay, I got
energy there. There's good, and there's, bad, but you need both of those to keep a balance. So they seem to both keep each other in check. Um, that last card, though, and it's interesting too with the pentacle because a lot of people are claiming that evil witches, open a portal to hell. And for me, that's kind of personal. And it
yeah,
shows there with the cat that, the energies there, the elements, because a lot of people don't realize that the pentacle represents the elements earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So you have
yeah,
those elements there that are being protected and are protecting or trying to keep the land protected. So there is good energy there and it's probably keeping the negative at bay, but that negative is still, is still going to be there. And I don't know if he's going to be able to transition or not. Um, at some point, the guy who did that and did take their lives. Um, I know Lizzie asked a little while ago if he was aware of it, and I haven't shuffled on that. I don't know if you did, Scott, but I'm going to put you right up there so
I
you can
think
share
so.
what you have.
Um,
You think he knew they were there?
I think that negative energy of the murder of those people is the fire is the negative energy that kind of cursed the land. I guess I have to think about it in a different aspect that there was something bad with the land prior, but I don't sense that. But I am getting the main entity there is a female. The main entity
Hmm.
there is a female.
Oh, you got that card too.
Yep, I got the dark spirit, and a female energy that is haunting the place that shows up. There may also be a child. I had the Six of Cups. May also be a child. So there's like a child, and they talked about that boy, right? That may have passed from the bottling center or whatever.
Hmm.
But like you said, I believe those other spirits that have passed from the injury have transitioned. They are now with the angels,
Yeah.
Knight of Coins. They got their the surrender. They got accepted. Um, yeah, I also have.
I wonder if the woman is there to protect the child, to help the child until it transitions. That popped into my head when you said that about the mother and the child.
It feels like that just because of the energy of the place, that negativity kind of traps them there. So they would need, instead of people going to ghost hunt the place,
Hmm.
they need, like a good psychic, maybe myself, who knows, right? Just to go there and get the energy and move them on instead of leaving it as a ghost property. Because then you have all these paranormal people coming in here and, searching. And when they really don't want to be bothered, they just want to be moved on. But they can't move on because of that negative energy.
Hmm. And
So
I
go ahead.
just got three of wands. There's the woman. She's standing there. She's waiting. What's she waiting for? She's waiting for the right moment for that child and for her to take a leap, for judgment to get to heaven. So she's waiting. She feels something with judgment and the fool. And I'm wondering if, because of this being, a young individual, not a child, but still a young individual, that could be her and the young man waiting for their opportunity to feel like they can transition and go up to heaven.
Thank you, Lizzie. Thank you, Linda.
Oh, Master Chief.
Great. Yeah, Linda always calls me Master Chief. Love it.
He definitely is.
In
So I
certain areas, tragedies pile up over time. The reason for certain areas. All right. I'm going to start tossing and get in the energy. If they are not moved on, it will not be good. Oh, I believe that.
Mhm.
The longer souls stay trapped, the worse it feels.
Yeah.
I watched
That's why
a poor paranormal group go there, and the guy felt all kinds of weird energy at times. Their EVPs were going up and down, so there's trapped souls there.
I started watching that one. You sent me, I think, the link to it or told me about it.
Yeah, it's kind of
It
long.
was about an
I
hour. It
fast
was not,
I fast forwarded it until just to get a little bit. I mean, it wasn't that entertaining, but they did feel something there. So let's see what the cards say. I don't sense it that property had bad energy prior to building. I think it was created by the owner that needed a tragedy for insurance money or something.
yeah,
And like you said, it was during the Depression times, so he
or
may have
around there. Because I know it was
wanted
it.
a
I
way
know it
out.
started in 1928. They started, but still, if it was there for 20s or a few extra years, it was probably leading right up until the Great Depression. And yeah, a lot of people lost money, and yeah, it was not good times.
Yeah, I've done readings before, personal readings and whatnot, and I sense, people around others that don't know how to go to the light.
Mm-hmm.
They might be hanging around. So, and all they really need, hi Pamela, all they really need is someone to connect to them and grab their hand and show them where the light is. Because no one's either there to greet them or help them, or they're trapped some way. And it's possible.
Hi, Pamela. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, when you say people wanting to, Chris, you were saying there's a place near me in Genesee, and I met the woman one day at a holistic, you know, new age fair kind of like thing. She had her table out because she does ghost hunting tours at this location. And when I asked her if anybody can go there to help move on any of these spirits, or has anybody tried to help move on these spirits, and I kid you not, she looked at me. She got really like put off, and she looked at me and she goes, "Nobody touches my spirits."
Oh, she wanted to keep them there?
Yeah,
Oh, good Lord. If they're
and
trapped,
I
but,
backed away from her table, and I was just like, Amanda, my friend Amanda was with me. She goes, come on," because the woman was just giving me a dirty look. Like she's like, "No, no one, touches my spirits," or. And when I went to go talk to a guy later, he was like, "Oh, she's just very protective of them because a lot of them want to stay there. They don't want to move on." And I'm thinking to myself, "What? They want to
no,
spend eternity stuck in this place?"
thanks to
And
her. No, that's not cool.
she was serious, Scott. I could
That's
not
not
believe.
cool. I'd run from that woman.
Oh, yeah, I had to walk away because I was ready to.
Well, there's a little story, if no one knows it. I've told it a couple times, but may not. So we have a community member, Marilyn, that I have in my email, and I've contacted through her. And we were trying to tap into a mystery that I read on, and she's from down in Texas in that area. And I just told her to get out of it because she started tapping into trafficking and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, no, don't get in that energy. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were we were chatting one day, and she started seeing my my entertainment center in the house, and she goes, "There's a little boy there that needs your help." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I never sensed a little boy or any kind of ghost here or anything like that." And I'm like, "Well, this house is 20 some years old, brand new property. It's once farmland or whatever that we know of."
Hmm.
So so I'm like, "Okay, I'll take advice and start just sensing what's in the house. But and she described, my stand or the entertainment center, it's all gray and stuff. I'm like, oh, you're good. Good job. So I started watching my dog, and I never noticed it before, but he's staring at the exact same area that Marilyn described. He just lay on the floor and stare at the area.
Wow.
I'm like, Marilyn's light. So I meditated and closed my eyes and concentrated in that area next to TV. And I seen this little boy, probably like 8 years old. He was kneeling, and there was a grandfather there. His grandfather was there, laying on like a slab. It kind of looked like it may have been at a funeral or something. But this little boy has never moved on. But I think his grandfather did because I didn't need to do anything with him. But he was like, some reason he was trapped. It may have been from the land or something because no one else ever lived in this house.
Hmm.
I'm not really positive. But he kept saying, but when I was getting this little boy's energy, he kept saying, Grandpa, wake up. Grandpa, wake up. That kind of thing. I'm like, so I just had to tap into his energy, and I'm like, just trying to talk it through in a meditative state and say, Grandpa's in heaven, and show, just open a portal to heaven, and they say, look up, there's Grandpa, and then all of a sudden, poof, I seen him go. And the dog never stared at that area again. I have no clue why he was in my corner of the house, but I just never noticed that because that dog was always staring at when I, never noticed. But he was always staring at that corner. It was pretty cool. But all you have to
That's
do is connect, and just show him the light, give him a hand, and I've done that a few times. Oh, excellent, Chris. Children break
yes,
my heart. What was that?
yes. Oh,
Never.
this is it here. Chris's comment.
Yeah, that one. Unless looking for another person, I call for
Yeah.
them always. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't want to. She just wants to keep those spirits there so she can keep them as her cash cow. And of all places, it's in an asylum.
No,
That's all I'm going to say. People, if you guys research Genesee County, New York asylum, you'll find out what the place is. And all for entertainment purposes only. YouTube. But it's sad. But that's wonderful to be able to help somebody move on.
So I just tossed a few cards on that property the hotel was built on in the 1900s. I'm not getting anything that shows like it was cursed or anything like that. It's good energy. I mean, I have Wheel of Fortune, King of Swords. I have the spiritual property. It may have been, some kind of reservation or something, but nothing shows me here that it's negative. Like
Yeah,
there
I
may
got
have been.
the here, let me just move this back over here.
Yeah.
I got the hermit card. For me, it was a place for people to come in for seeking, for healing, for wisdom, for guidance, that whole area. So
Yeah, that's my farm card. Yeah, it's all about spirituality, traditions. It's a structure. It's an authority place.
Fortunately, there was eventually a struggle. Different people moving in. And unfortunately,
yeah, there may have been something there, but it's not like it. It doesn't feel like it was.
The land was stolen. Yeah, the land was taken over, but no, people just the high priestess, so people knew that there was a lot of spiritual energy, high wisdom that could be tapped into in that area. So
well, especially with that spring water that was natural there, it topped it up. Nice area.
Another thing too with running water is its energy. So a lot of times spiritual energy, because of the water and the flowing water, it helps increase psychic energy. So a lot of maybe some of these apparitions or other things that they're seeing there at night or during the day, a lot of that might be powered by that water that's still running there underground and within the caves that are still, you're able to go into some of the caves and check them out, where they took the stone from to build it. And so a lot of that energy is still all connected in the ground, which could possibly feed still any residual energy that is still there.
That makes sense. That pure water there would purify that land too. It makes sense. Yeah, there's a few comments there if you want to put them up. People talking about who they crossed on or what they sensed.
Yep, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one. Sorry, Chris, I'll come right back to you. Because she always felt the spirits of things crossing over. Wow.
Yeah, I could see. What is it? Medium Kim. She enjoyed that.
Yeah, she does hospice, I believe she said.
When she did hospice, helping people
my
cross.
mom was in hospice. It takes a strong person to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And my daughters are both loving, caring, empathetic, and they're both going to be nurses. Well, one is, and one's finishing. But she's working as a nurse. What do you call them?
Oh, wow.
I can't remember. Well, she got a degree, but not in nursing, so now she's got to finish.
An LPN? No, not LPN. CPN? I know there's an LPN. There's a
It's like a nurse's
CPR.
assistant. I can't remember what they're called. They're not paid well.
That's why a
You
lot
know
of
what I
them
mean?
don't stay. You know, they get burned out and they don't want to stay. And so
Yeah.
yeah,
But
quite
anyway,
a few.
she's doing that until she finishes a degree. She originally went to school for occupational therapy, but then found out she couldn't get a job there without a master's. So she tried to get go to master's school, but that didn't work out because of COVID and whatnot. So now she's getting her, she only has a few classes and then she can get her nurse's degree. So she wasted quite a few years because she didn't think about what
Yeah,
she was going to do.
yeah. Sherry
CPN,
says it's a CPN, I think. Yeah,
God,
because L is for licensed.
I mean, anyone can do that. They're basically, wiping butts, cleaning up, taking care of them, giving them baths. That thing, I can't remember what that's
It's a
called.
hard job, and these people. I have a friend whose
Yeah, and
mother
you get
needs
minimum
in-home
wage.
care, and they can't hold on to anybody that's good because, or the nurses don't want to really put that much effort into the job because they don't get paid well, and then just it's a vicious cycle, really. They really need to
Oh,
start paying people
yeah,
properly.
yeah, they should be, at least $15 to $18 an hour to be caring for them.
Yeah.
Linda had a comment. You want to highlight that
Okay.
one? The
I
debate.
think. Oh,
Right
I
up,
had her up there earlier, but she.
Linda,
Oh,
a
friend.
couple, two up.
Oh, Linda. Boop boop boop.
Yep.
Yes, I posted that.
I
She helped her
crossed my
younger
youngest
kids down.
kid's dad. He didn't know he was
Isn't
dead
that
because he
something? That's amazing, Linda.
Yeah, I truly sense like people that pass sometimes, quickly and tragically, and they don't know what happened. It shocks their system, and to be detached from the soul and the body, sometimes they don't realize they've gone, and it can be difficult. And they're, in a confused. Their soul is like in a confused state if there's no one to greet them and accept them. And I noticed that too.
But
And
I thought that everybody was there to greet us, though, Scott. Don't we all have the spirit guide that's supposed to be there when we cross?
supposed
That
to,
that was
yes.
my understanding.
But when I've been asked, and in certain scenarios, I did, our souls are weird. But
Yeah.
what I sense is that when they're detached so quickly, like let's say you're just walking on the street and all of a sudden you get shot from a strange gunfire, right? You don't know what happened. You just do, and all of a sudden you're gone. You don't have that slow transition point of that energy transfer, and it can be traumatic to the soul. So you may not even see the light, or you got some things to deal with. It's just difficult.
Oh, I
Also,
sing.
don't
Oh,
really
Linda, that's beautiful. Oh, physician's
No, it's
assistant.
not. No,
Huh?
it's below a nurse. I just can't believe I can't remember it.
Oh,
They work in hospitals and nursing homes, but they just do all the menial stuff.
and
You know what I
hospitals are
mean?
more accepting now of Reiki energy.
Some
There's
places,
more
yeah.
hospitals willing to allow people to come in
It's
and
not.
for
It's
Reiki
not a.
work.
Is it a CNA maybe? Nurse's assistant?
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Hilda nailed it.
Thank you, Hilda. It's a CNA. Yeah. It's a nurse's assistant. Thank you. Yeah. So that's my daughter's got a degree in about 6, 7 years of college, but she she chose the wrong profession, and now she's my youngest daughter, 2 years younger, has her degree and been working as a nurse for a year. My oldest that just got married doesn't have her degree yet.
Now, I'm not sure what Chris means, Scott. Others out to fix something. So,
It's
see, like
possible.
what? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, a soul's desire, and it depends what, everyone's different. Everyone's soul has a different path, whatever they need. Um, there was
Yeah,
one
mine.
time, there's one time I did a reading for a nice lady, and her nephew and his brother were just out in a shopping area, or whatever, and got caught up in gunfire from a gang. And the oldest brother died. So the youngest brother was traumatic. And so what I was seeing is that the older brother was so shocked by this and didn't know what was happening. And it felt like his soul was scared. He attached himself to the younger brother and he was helping him, cope with it, like that energy. So it was almost like two souls together. And I seen him for almost a year because he would email me every once in a while. I seen his older brother like over his right shoulder. And then it took about a year, but then he finally moved on, I was seeing. So like a year later, she emailed me again, just, any updates on the situation? So I started tapping on and like, yeah, I felt like he moved on. Everything's good now. You understand what happened. And then I was like, he's telling me his sister's going to have a baby, and I asked her, is his sister pregnant? And she goes, yeah, 2 months pregnant. I was like,
There you
but, he,
go.
but he's saying congratulations.
Yeah, my mom was
So I
good
mean,
at that.
it's funny how it works out in certain ways, but I'm glad, because she was always wondering if his soul is at peace, but the family was in horror because of it. Just be getting shot by a gun violence, and he just happened to be in the wrong place at the right time. But like I said, I was getting from his soul that he was helping his brother cope with it, through healing energy and being with him.
Oh wow, Deb.
My friend was brain dead. They came to his body alive. I went to her and told her, either wake up or take my hand. She said, oh, beautiful, Deb. Yeah, I mean, but in those situations, when they're brain dead, they're already tapped in. You know what I mean? Like even with people that have dementia, and because they're half in and half out, their soul is already transferring, doing their life review and connecting to spirit. And that in that case with Deb there, that Purple Elephant Deb H said it was so easy for him, your friend to go. He was like, tell me when.
Yeah.
I did another reading for someone, and she asked about her mom, and it felt like her mom was like amazed. She felt like she was in spirit, and then afterwards she goes, "That's nothing like my mom. She's an evil person, and she's got dementia and is alive." I'm like, wow. And I'm like, she totally felt like she was in spirit, like there already. You know, it's a total different thing when your mind isn't there. You're already connecting to the universe. When you're, when you're in a coma, or you know, and another one, one of my friends was, her father got COVID, and he was in the ICU. He was unconscious. He was in a coma. He had the trach tube and everything, and it felt like he was already going through his life review. His
Wow.
angels were already connecting, and he had such great energy when they finally pulled that tube out and his body passed, and it was seamless. There was no bad energy. He was just ready to go. His body was done. So it's really weird how that works in certain ways with in those scenarios of dementia or comas and all that.
Did you get that one with that Linda, the Native American
Um,
Cherokee?
Come here, turkeys. I called my mom on the time to aid me in her. Oh, cool.
Isn't that beautiful little wolf who disappears? Oh my, that's beautiful. I love that.
My mom refused the order. Cool.
Oh wow,
My
Chris.
dad's spirit lifted and passed through. Oh my God, that's gotta be an incredible experience.
Yeah, my daddy passed away alone. I'm still having a hard time with that. And there was a spirit that was in the house, and it was there for many years. And my mother and I always wondered if it was that evil entity that was in the house that slowly drained my dad's life from him and made it so that we weren't there when he passed, but he was sleeping. It was like the TV was going, and it looked like he had taken a nap and had fallen asleep with his hands, over, his
Uh
chest,
huh.
and just closed his eyes and fell asleep. So I feel, both my mom and dad passed alone, and I just hope that doesn't happen to me. Although that might be easier for some people as we get old. I might feel differently when it's my time, that I don't want people to be, crying around or, just to go peacefully. That's my prayer.
That's what happened to my mother in 2016. She just went to sleep and never woke up again. She had she had plaque breakout in her arteries or whatever and clogged her heart. Never knew, but
Jeez.
she was alone, but it's a peaceful way to go. You just never wake up again. You go right to heaven.
Oh, because she could feel all the spirits.
I'm
Oh,
sure that's
she didn't want the gift. Yeah.
well, yeah. If she didn't want it, that can be difficult to work with.
I mean, that's kind of a hard way of easing into or learning to accept your gifts and how to use them. If you're, thrown right into a situation where you have that all around you, all at once, I could see myself wanting to shut down too. Um, Hopefully, maybe she'll learn how to, you know, um,
Hey
channel her
Pam.
abilities.
Hey Pam. Yep. What am I? Yeah, I'm like an hour away from you. She said she's in Platteville there. I'm like an hour away from Pam. But anyway, yeah, it's storming like crazy here. I'm just south of Madison, so. But yeah, I'm like only like 50 minutes, an hour away from Pam.
Yeah, we're supposed to get a
Just like
storm
that.
coming in through tonight.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
really. And my weird thing is my mother my mother remarried, so he's my stepdad, and he was wonderful. He had a lot of struggles in his life, but he was wonderful to my kids and my mom. It's like she finally found her soulmate, and then he had an enlarged heart, which he didn't know about. He had some other health issues, but he was exerting himself all day. He was cutting wood for the house, so he brought it all back, and he sat down on the couch. And my mom made him his favorite snack before dinner, sardines and crackers. And my mom went back on the computer to do some things for the VA or something. Or she was in charge of the American Auxiliary for Women,
hmm.
um, or American Legion Auxiliary. So anyway, she went in the computer, and she finished up, and she's trying to talk to Richard. Richard. We went and answered, came back in the room. He had cracker. He had cracker and sardines in his hand. He was face down. He passed away. So my mom really struggled for that for quite a few years. But they
Right.
both just passed away, you know, peacefully, quickly. So it's so sad.
Sorry, someone's banging on the wall. One
Uh
of
oh.
the other.
What spirit you got going on there?
I don't
Cat
know.
messing with you?
No, neighbor. It's been a little bit of an adjustment because this is you can smoke in this building, and I'm not a smoker, especially not a weed smoker. And I have neighbors that do both, and it comes right up into our apartment. And some days it's just like, it's like lighting incense and trying to open windows because I get so nauseous from it. So it's taking some adjustment, but oh, it's so nice
Oh,
to have
Linda.
running water again. Yep, Linda.
Linda, where in Minnesota you at? So I'm real close to Madison, Wisconsin, so 5 hours. You in like St. Paul? Like St. Paul, Minneapolis is like 5.5 hour drive.
Pam says you guys need to get together for some coffee.
Well, I know. Next time I go see my daughter, it's like 15 minutes from you, I think. My daughter and her new fiance, or my brother-in-law, they live in or Darlington, so that's only like 15 minutes from you then.
Well, my battery just showed me 10% and my charger is in the other room.
Oh no!
Oh
Let's see.
no. So I just want to
You're
make
getting
sure that
down
we
there,
didn't
but
miss anybody. Oh,
uh, that is such a horrible thing to do. To not accept your gift because spirit will make it bad for you. I've had numerous people that I've read for, and they just don't understand it. They don't want to accept it, and they just make you like heck. You have all kinds of issues in your life with relationships or whatever until you actually accept what's going on with you and what spirit wants for you.
oh, run away.
Run
Hopefully,
away.
in about a year or two to Oregon. Not Oregon, Wisconsin, but Oregon, Oregon.
Okay. When you go to St. Paul, yes. Cool, yeah. Um,
Yeah, Chris says his
Granddaughter's
granddaughter's
blocking it.
connected.
Oh, don't block it. Just accept and go with the flow.
Yeah.
Chris said something about her daughter is a CNA.
Let me go back
So
up to that.
she accepted what's going on and it's a whole new world
Let's
for her. That's the best way to go.
Oh my goodness, Linda, I can't find it. I thought I'd been on top of highlighting everybody's.
Yeah, great comments coming in quickly.
Yes. Oh wow. She's scared. Oh, she's scared. Oh, yeah. There's so many. I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm like going through fast, but I just want to make sure everybody gets their message seen before
Yeah,
I
I mean, I have
dive
my
in.
own experiences with my daughters, so I've talked to them about stuff, and
Oh, here
nothing's
we.
scary. They see things at times, if you just explain what's going on, and that it's not supposed to be scary. You know, spirits are either checking in on us or they're giving us a gift.
For me, it was scary because I grew up in a house that had that evil entity going after me at night, grabbing my feet, putting its nails in the back of my neck and everything. So whenever I would be around any place that had a spirit and I would start to feel that energy, it my whole body would just tense up, freeze, my heart would start beating and I feel like I would pass out. And it's taken a lot of years for me to be able to learn how to control that because it was just I was groomed into it from being attacked by this thing growing up. I did see my aunt after she passed away 2 weeks after. That was the only spirit that I've seen that was a beautiful experience. So, but now that I've been doing this more, and I hear things, or if I hear a word or what I think is my name, I'll open my eyes and I'll look and I'll say, yes, I'm listening and I notice with less and less fear. So maybe I might start reopening up again someday. We'll see. Yeah, she's right.
Taken
Yes,
from
it's too scary when they hurt you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some things can be scary, I'm sure, until you get used to it. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of blessed because I've never seen spirits. I connect, but I've never seen a ghost. I've never seen dark entities. I've heard things, but So I guess that would be an issue, like, or if I seen an extraterrestrial around the corner or something, I'm like, whoa.
Hey, you said you want to
Um,
see us. Here we are.
oh, Linda, email me. Hook up the phone numbers. Gotta have lunch or coffee or something.
Oh, that's
Click,
wonderful.
click on Pam's question quick. Two up.
Yeah.
You guys think my dad is mad at me because I've been so upset over what was taken from him?
I'm assuming Dad's in spirit, Pam.
Yeah, because upset over what was taken from him. And no, I his purple heart that the funeral director took off him. No, no, not at all. The body is just a vessel. He realizes, he's unconditional love spirit. No, he wanted that in physical hands, not buried. No, there's nothing there. What I'm getting. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Exactly. No, his soul does not care about at all what he's buried with or anything.
Yeah.
Like when my grandpa was buried, and he smoked most of his life, and my my parents put a pack of smokes in his pocket of his dress suit. It was like, well, I think he'd want it there. I don't think Grandpa really cares whether he had a pack of smokes in his coffin. You both realize your ours is, oh, honey, cool. Oh,
Oh.
there's energy here because my camera is getting blurry.
Uh-huh. On and off, it's gone, certain times, and I'm like,
I just noticed that. I'm going to switch cameras quick. Yeah, I just noticed it's blurry. When energy comes through, yeah, that's my webcam. Anytime there's a lot of energy around me, it starts going blurry. So this is
Yeah,
my
I heard that.
laptop cam. It's not quite
Yeah.
as doesn't have as much definition, but
But
I'm loving this.
my sister used to see the black shadow, the thing that would attack me. It would actually show itself to my sister. I just learned recently, and she says it would be this black mass that would just come down because we had a crawl space with one of those doors that you push up, and it would just come right down out of it and just go right at her and scare the living shit out of her. So yeah, I
Yeah, it's
I was
really
lucky I
weird.
didn't see that.
For some reason like I said, it always gets blurry when there's a lot of spirit energy around my webcam. So I always have to switch it to the computer. But I like the webcam; it's got a better resolution. But it's really weird.
Yeah, since I've left the trailer, I don't get the orbs anymore.
What's going
There's been
on here?
nothing here.
So do you know whatever happened to that bad energy you were talking about at your home or whatever back in the
Well,
day?
after my dad passed away, and I got to see if I can find someone who can read on for me later on, to see if that was the final thing that made him so sick that that it took him. I'm hoping that it's not, but I had to move back into that house with my mom after my dad died to help her. And when I got into that house, the first thing I said was, excuse my language, everybody. I said, now you listen to me, you son of a bitch. If you are still here, and I know you're probably still here, you are one, not going to touch me. You're not going to touch my mother. You're not going to touch my animals. You are to stay away from us. If you're still here, you stay in that damn little crawl space. I mean, I warned it because at that point I had been involved with Wicca and learning how to do protection spells and everything. I said, I know people that can fix your ass, and I know that I can protect myself and I can take care of myself. I go, you are not going to touch me, my mom, or the animals. And after I moved back, after having said that, I never had an experience with it. So yeah, I
Yep.
showed no fear, no more
Sometimes that
fear.
works. Sometimes that works when you can take your own power. You don't need. You stand in your faith and show them power. That'll work too.
Yeah,
Instead of smudging and all that, you just stand in your faith and power, and like you will not.
yeah,
I remember this one video. This guy was talking about. Um, he was laying in bed and he woke up from a nightmare and he seen like a bad extraterrestrial over his body. And I
yeah.
was watching this video and he explained about it. And he immediately reacted and he said something. I can't remember what it was, but he banished him immediately and that thing just flew away because he stood in his power and like, get away, you don't deserve to be here or whatever. And it just went, if you stay
Wow.
here. But yeah, he said like some kind of quick prayer. I mean, it's been a long time I
Mm,
read it. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that makes sense. If you stand in your faith, stand in your power, and like they have no power over you.
yep.
That's right.
See, by then I
Anytime,
knew how to protect
anytime I
myself.
feel weird, yeah, Chris. Anytime I feel weird or a little bit off, Michael, come help me, buddy. Take anything
Hmm.
away, send it away, and I always feel better.
They are. Some
Thank you,
people say when
Lady.
we cross over, we learn our lessons, we change, we heal, and we evolve. Not all spirits, no, because this thing made me wake up one night when I was a young girl, open my eyes because I heard something like a shadow. I heard something rustling outside of my window, and I opened and I could feel like my eyes were closed, and I could still feel the shadow going over my eyes. And when I opened up, there was a shadow figure above me holding a knife, ready to
Ooh,
come down. And I
good Lord.
remember closing my eyes and then opening them up, and it was gone. And so, yeah, that thing's evil. That thing, I don't know if it's still there though. From what I understand, because my mom lost the house because she didn't stay on the property payments, not mortgage, but the property. And from what I understood, nobody has been in that house for more than 6 months at a time.
Oh,
So I
I've
believe it.
heard of those things that no one can live in a place for more than a few months because the spirits are so bad and energy.
Yeah, I would love to find someone who could help clear that house and have me meet the owners and let me help. This was my home. And I ask Spirit if that's possible. Then someday, when I'm still here in New York, let that happen. And so far, it hasn't. So it might not be meant to happen. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to get into it more. It might be. I mean, what's your? I don't know. You're running out of power
no,
for
actually, I
me to.
plugged back in, so I had to
Oh,
run away and get my charger. I
oh,
was like,
gotcha. So this was your. This
this is
was
what the house
your
I grew up in. Yep,
the house you grew up in, and
Country Parkway,
what's the address? Don't tell
three
me the
sixty
town.
363 Country Parkway.
363 Country Parkway.
Hmm. Yepers,
Was
and
it
I
a
really
was
hope
it a small was it a small house like 3 bedroom?
it was a small 2 bedroom, but when my dad passed away, my mom and dad got back together because they had been separated for many years, and my mom wanted it remodeled and an extra floor was added to it. So we don't know if that spirit had something to do with my daddy's passing as well. But every now and then I still have dreams. I keep going. They've cut down because I asked for it to stop. But since for the last 6 months, I was having regular dreams during the week of me going back to this place, not necessarily being inside of the house, but being outside on the grounds. And it's just like, would you leave me alone? I can't come back to you. I can't, you know what I mean? Because there are times when I wish that, I could buy it back, but then it's just like, it's the past. You have to leave it alone. So there's just a lot of stuff still tied up at that house.
Um,
But we're pretty
what
sure we
I'm
know who it
I don't
was, according to my mom.
Who do you think?
Um, my uncle, very violent individual. He's passed now. He's in spirit. He was going to rob a house or a business with a buddy of his named Jimmy. And at the last minute, my uncle opted out, and Jimmy went ahead with it. And he got caught by the owner and was killed. And he had from what my mom said, an affiliation with one of my aunts or with our family. A lot of it now, I'm not sure exactly how much of it was true, but my mom feels that he came to our house because of my uncle's connection and his affection or whatever for one of my aunts. And my sister and my mom would hear, along with any family members that came to the house. This was when I was very young, maybe before I was even born. But his favorite band was The Doors. And when a certain song would play, you could hear him dancing up in the crawl space.
Okay. That makes sense because I was getting it was no one from the house. It was a male figure, but connected you guys. I think you're right. So I'm getting it's not an evil entity that you can't move on. All you need is a good medium. I think you could do it too because you have your power now. All you would have to do, or any medium could just walk in there, connect with him, and say, leave. It doesn't take an exorcism. It doesn't take.
Oh, my mom brought people in. My mom had brought priests into the house, other
But
individuals who
what?
claimed
Oh,
that they could
priest?
move them on. And she had, the house blessed on numerous occasions when I was a young girl. And then later on, after my dad passed, she tried having someone come in to move this thing. And I don't know honestly if it's still there. And but when I
I'm
talk
getting it was the
to
wrong
some,
person. Priest? No.
yeah, not
The
now.
darkness, a priest won't do it. You need someone that's a medium that can connect. Just a priest coming in and blessing was not going to work. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Chris. I wouldn't
Uh
trust
huh.
priests for nothing. You need, you can get rid of that Caves Hotel banner.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Chris. Chris, you know, actually, someone that's a psychic medium trained to do exorcisms can do a lot better work than a priest can that's trained.
Because the last time I've been to the house a couple times to knock on the door to introduce myself and to say thank you for taking such good care of the house and the property because they've been in my family. But every time I've been there, there's been no one to answer the door. And when I went to a neighbor, he was telling me that, and this is going back about 3 years at least. And at that time, he told me that they hadn't been able to keep anybody in that house for more than about 6 months or so. And whenever I look up at the house to see if it's on the market again or if there's a for rent, it just keeps telling me that the property is not available at this time. So it's not for sale. So I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on out there right now. It
correct,
feels like it keeps
correct.
calling me there, and it's like I have to
Yeah,
let you go. I can't stay.
correct, Linda and Lizzie. Yeah, a Native American shaman would be perfect. Shaman and a string male medium, 2 sessions. Probably right. Yeah, I mean,
That's probably what
I
Amy
would
Allen would
if I
probably
could find
recommend too.
if I could find a Native American shaman, that in my area close, I would love to learn from him or her.
Yeah,
Ever. Um, did the
but
house have
it's
bad spirits? Yeah. How was Jones asking? How was it before your uncle
well,
passed?
the only thing that it was my uncle's buddy. His name was Jimmy, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't necessarily know if they can. I can attract him over here, but um, the people before my parents had like a small farm or something. They had horses or one horse, and I know that there is a dead horse that's buried in the backyard, and that's all I know.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing I would use a priest for is maybe to bless the house in God's spirit.
Mm,
You know, I
but
don't
not
believe they
enough to
can
drive out
move
those things.
anything.
Yeah.
You know, a bad spirit would just laugh at him.
Yep, that's what they do.
I mean, I was so upset one time. I went to my ex-wife's father passed away, and I was listening to the sermon and stuff, and the priest actually said that you're that he's gone. He's not here in spirit anymore. He's not going to visit you. He's gone. I was shocked. You know, all this stuff about that our spirit doesn't live on and stuff. I'm like, holy cow. I was upset. I almost left.
Hmm.
And I ended up mailing him a letter. I don't know if he took it, but I was upset. And I'm like, you need to learn a few things. That is horrible what you said to all these people that grandfather and father is not around anymore. And it's, oof. Oh,
Did you
yeah.
see Linda's?
Yeah. If you can shoot me an email, SAK spiritual essence at Gmail. I'd love to know who it is. Bless you, Linda.
So yeah, it still calls to me every now and then, and I hate it when you're on the astral and these spirits find you and they try to attack you and they like take your voice and you have to kind of fight through it to call on all your protection to banish it. But that used to happen on a regular, for me, a regular occasion would be like once or twice a year. And since I've become more attached with, again, my crystals, my cards, and my community here, um, I haven't, knock on wood, haven't had any of those experiences. Every now and then I do, and it's unsettling when you have no voice and you're trying to call
Yeah.
out for help on the spirit, plane. But it's
Yeah.
gotten better.
Yes, Lizzie. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm I'm pretty close to Madison, Wisconsin. Yes, Lizzie.
And then Joan here, male medium can intimidate. Yeah, I've learned a lot of that with Amy Allen. Oh, really quick, Amy Allen. Um, I don't know if you know of Amy Allen, Scott, or
Oh,
Emily, and
I
she
love her
like,
show. I watched a
okay,
lot of her show. Yeah.
she and went recently went to Flagstaff, and they did a investigation at Crystal Magic. I worked there for a year. And a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of these paranormal experiences that everyone was talking about, I had a few, but man, they must have really trudged that energy up because when I was there, I didn't get the shadow figures, the menacing in the bathroom or going down in the basement. I know they did completely remodel inside of the store. It doesn't look like, when I worked there. And I'm just wondering if that kind of amped up some of the energy, in the place. But I would open up first thing in the morning and walk in and just, "Hi, it's just me. I'm opening up the store." I would put on, the music and I would do the drawers and everything and get the day straightened up. Yes, they were claiming about books being, on the floor. There would be a couple. I would put them back on the shelf. And, there was a time when a couple of things came off the walls while I was working. But just the claims now was just incredible. And I lived in Flagstaff for 8 years, so a couple of the other places they went to, I was just like, wow, I had no idea. And some of the stuff was really new to me, and I had lived there that long. But it was pretty crazy seeing my one of my towns that I lived in, big part, good part of my life being
Yeah.
investigated for that. Yeah, it was kind of mind blowing.
Thank you, Lizzie. Yeah, I just don't know how to find them. There is a lot of tribes in Wisconsin. Yeah. I just don't know how to find them. But if Linda knows one, I
That's
trust
awesome.
her. I trust her immensely. But you know what the thing is? I'm pretty good at sensing dark energies and what they are. I mean, you're in your power now. I truly believe you can just connect and you go back to your home house. I believe you could move them. I don't sense it's that strong. They just never had. He's never been stood up to, you know, and powerful enough. And I think you're there.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't feel like it, but you know,
you are. I remember
I
you. You remember when you emailed me about that one weird dream you had and you woke up early, whatever.
I've been having a lot of weird dreams lately.
Okay,
There's so
this
many since I've been doing tarot, Scott. I am been like onslaught with dreams at night, and by the time I wake up in the morning and I'm trying to, collect them, there are so many that they're just jumbled up bits and pieces of feelings and slight fragments. I can't put anything together, and I ask Spirit, please, not so many all at once in one night. Help me a little bit at a time, or at least one word or one image that I can maybe focus on or think about during the day. And it slowed down a bit, but there are still mornings when I can't recall anything. And I know there's a lot of shit going on at night now, in my dreams with messages.
it was that one you told me were you wonder if it was an ET or what you're saying and what I was getting which I'd never gotten before. Remember I told you I was seeing you were astral traveling and you woke up prior to your soul coming back to your body
Okay.
and you've seen it like an angel or something. This was probably
In my
like six
dream.
months. This was maybe like 6 months ago. Yeah, you were like
Oh,
dreaming or something.
God, dude, I can't remember what I ate for breakfast a couple days ago lately. 6 months.
But
But
no, it was like
but
something I've never gotten before. Or you were asking me about a dream or whatever, and like, what is this? And I'm like trying to sense it, and get into it. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I seen you were astral traveling, going somewhere, but before your soul came back from the mission or whatever you were doing, you woke up prior and you were seeing something, and it kind of freaked you out. And I'm like, I never seen that before.
Hmm.
That. But yeah, some reason you woke up. I was getting you
I'll have
woke
to
up.
meditate on that later. But yeah, I get
I
so
could,
many
I
now
could.
that I'm asking for at least one word or just one image, for them to let me remember when I wake up in the
Oh my
morning.
God, was
So,
it in text or email? No, it was an email. I might have it yet. I'll forward it back to you.
ooh, okay, that'll
I think
help
I
bring
still
it
have
back.
it in an email. But yeah, it was just the craziest thing. I've never seen that of anyone waking up into while you're in the astral travel and doing work, and it's like you got
Huh.
woken up because
And
from
yeah.
an energy
Oh,
higher.
I'm wondering if that was the one where I was waking up and I couldn't open my eyes
Yeah, it was
and I
something
was
like that.
freaking out. That was like,
Yeah,
I think within the last 3 or 4 months. I remember
yeah, it was a few
I was
months ago.
dreaming, and in the dream, I couldn't open my eyes to see, and I felt like something was trying to open, like a third eye or something, like another, and I couldn't, and it was scaring me because I couldn't tell what was around me, and so I started waking up, and in the waking up, I still couldn't see, and that freaked me out because then it was like a and then I was awake. So that might have been the email.
Yeah,
Like
it
something
could
was
be. I thought I could be wrong, but I thought maybe you were seeing like a weird entity or
maybe
angel or something.
I don't know.
But
Maybe I'll
I'll
look
find
forward
it.
to that email. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I kept it. But yeah, it was probably like 5, 6 months ago, I think.
Yep. My brain is mush. I mean, I try so hard. I try so hard when I wake up in the morning to remember. That's the first thing I do. It's like, okay, what was I dreaming? And then, but everything is just all mashed together. And sometimes I just have to kind of peel through and go, okay, one word or one color or one image. And then sometimes they'll give it to me, and there are times when it just I can't do it. There's just not in, there's just too much mush.
Ugh.
I do call her Lily. I mean Lizzie. I'm sorry. I gotta get caught used to calling you Lizzie now.
I've
I
been,
do.
I had these moments where I'm like dreaming constantly and they're lucid. And then, I keep asking to remember my dreams, remember what I'm doing. And and then they just kind of shut off. I'm like, come on, what are you doing? I want some
Hey, what
info
are you
what I'm doing
doing?
tonight. I'm like, Jesus.
Meditate. I do the best I can because I have medications that kind of affect how I medications that I'm on right now. If kind of affect my focus, and I have some more tests I have to go through. And so things are kind of crazy now right now with my health, um, with the whole lupus thing and everything. But the medications that I've been on, I was told does affect um, dreams, cognition, recognition. So it's just something that once I get enough unpacked and I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed with the boxes, I can start focusing on and doing, um, on a regular basis. So
Oh, you think your meds are, so have you been
I
doing the
was told,
streaming and
yeah,
stuff
I'm on
while
something
you've been
called
on them?
Seroquel. I'm on something called Seroquel, and it throws off my focus. Kind of gives me a little bit of a ADD where it's hard for me to focus on things. And yet, I had another fellow psychic tell me that Seroquel actually stimulates the pituitary and the
Oh,
third
great.
eye gland. And it's like,
Good and bad.
yeah. So if you can't focus on something and recall stuff, and yet this stuff is all shooting out at you, but yeah, this summer I'm going to have to really um, do a lot with health and whatnot. They think I may have I might be on the lupus spectrum as well. So I'm on another medication. So I have to kind of wait to see how that affects my sleeping and my dreaming. And so far, I really haven't noticed any big changes. So that's a good positive. So um,
You have maybe you need a crystal grid from Nancy Jean.
I have a ton of crystals, and I'm actually starting to finally unpack them. And once I get my little set, table set aside here, where I can start pulling certain ones to keep on me or in a bag under my pillow when I sleep at night.
Definitely.
Um,
I was
Most
sensing
definitely.
something about crystals. So, put your favorite crystals either next to you on the bedstand or something.
Yep.
There's a
Yep.
reason I was popping in something about crystals. So, unpack your favorite crystals and keep it next to you.
Yep. Isn't this a pretty one?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
My
And
crystal clear packed with all kinds of different crystals.
oh, that's cool.
This thing's like, it feels like a bowling ball.
Uh
I
huh.
don't, I never weighed it. I should weigh it, but it feels like it's like 4 pounds. This thing's heavy. Oh, I got one of them. I love that one.
Yeah, this one here was a gift from my auntie Donna. She passed away. I got to know her a couple of months before I left for Arizona, and she passed when I was there. But before I went, she said that I think you would like this, and she gave this to me. And so this is my crystal, my amethyst from my auntie Donna. I miss her.
I got one just like that next to my bed.
Yep.
I got I got one like that next to my bed, and then yeah, like a citrine color, a yellowish. I think
Hmm.
it's a citrine. I like those geo type types like that.
Yes. A lot of them are becoming more
Every
expensive, though.
day.
I've noticed. Yeah. The cost of
Labrador.
crystals. Yep, Labradorite.
Yeah.
That's a big
I don't
popular
know what the
stone
heck
right
to
now
do with this.
with
Ugh,
moldavite.
this is a big calcite. Or
Woo!
quartz? Is it quartz? No, not
Is it
quartz.
no? Is it
Selenite.
selenite?
Yeah, it's a big piece of selenite.
Yeah, I
I'm
have
not sure how
selenite
to
here,
use
but
it yet. you can concentrate like a like a crystal ball.
I know Jen. Well, you can charge and cleanse crystals on those. And Jen from Jen's World, she has a certain way that she balances her selenite and how she puts her crystals on there for cleansing. But selenite's really good for cleansing energy off of pretty much any crystal. You just can't put it in water or it's going to dissolve because selenite's a gypsum, and it'll just turn to
Hmm.
mush. But yeah, obsidian is good for absorbing negative energy, and the selenite's good for absorbing it out of other crystals. But
Yeah.
yeah, when I was in Arizona and I worked at Crystal Magic. That's when I got into with the crystals and learning Reiki and crystal Reiki and everything. So um, I'm trying to get back in touch with that again because stuff happened, major stuff
Oh,
happened. You know,
Lizzie says she puts her other crystals on top of that, her flat selenite.
yeah,
Cool.
to cleanse them.
Chris likes
And TK
regular
is
old river
here.
rock.
Hi, TK.
I I'm kind of weird too. It's like sometimes I take my break when I was driving for work at like the rest area or whatever, and in the median there'd be like decorative rocks and stuff. So I'm waiting, I'm walking around, listening to YouTube, whatever, but I look at every rock and see if it has crystalline in it, and if I
Hmm.
like it and I feel it, I keep them.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're everywhere. Just that's one of the cool things is that Shan and I want to go to Oregon because you can just go walking, especially around Central Oregon. You can just go walking in the woods and in the fields, and there's jasper and there's agate just on the ground, and crystal, quartz crystal just to pick right up off the ground. So
You know?
that's
But
beautiful too.
some of my favorite rocks are the ones that um, I sense they have more energy. It's just the ones that have, you know, the ones that you pick up and they're all sparkly.
Uh huh.
You can see all the little crystals. Every little
Yeah, they're
crystal
called.
is another energy port.
Yep, they're called drusies. When you have the little tiny crystals.
Oh, what
But
do I
talking
got?
about crystals. This is something I've been wanting to share with everybody because I finally unpacked it. This is my rainbow obsidian, and it's carved in a butterfly.
Oh wow.
I got that in Sedona. Celestite from my job when I was at Crystal Magic. I have that. This is
Yeah.
my cellar.
Oh wow. Yeah, these are just a few rocks I picked up from that are
Ooh.
in the medians and whatnot for decorative. But if you look
Hmm.
really close, there's a whole bunch of little crystals inside it.
Yeah.
And it's probably hard to see, but you
No,
know,
you can still see some of the
yeah, they hold energy.
and fluorite. Fluorite is also really good for dreaming, intuition, and for healing as well. So that's my
Uh,
pillar.
it was kind of funny. I left I left a few. I left a few in three of them in my work truck once, and the guy
Yeah.
that brought up, well, he's kind of a Trumper.
Mm.
You know, he's you know he's very Republican, and and he supported the former guy and whatnot. But anyway, I left him in my truck, and he brought my truck up to get loaded, and I came a little bit later. So I walked in, and he asked me, he goes, "What do you got those rocks in your truck for? Are you some kind of mystical crystal guy?" I'm like,
Why, sir? Yes, I am.
I didn't really go there because I know he's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I go, no, I like cool rocks. They had a bunch of crystals inside of it. I'm like, I'm gonna take these. I'm just walking around. Well, then he finally admitted when he was out in South Dakota or something. He goes, "Oh yeah, I found a bunch of cool rocks and I took them too." I'm like, well, "Why'd you even ask then?" But it was like the way he said it. I'm like, "What? You some kind of mystical crystal guy?"
Yeah. Linda, I used to love going to Sedona. My favorite place to go to was the airport butte,
There you go, Chris.
which is one of the vortexes. And just to go sit on top of that butte and just feel that it wasn't a super strong energy for me. It was just a very low, deep, healing energy. And I used to love sitting on the top of it and just overlooking Sedona and the red rocks and watching the clouds cast shadows over the green and the red and everything. It was beautiful there. It really was. I don't know where Thunder Mountain is. That doesn't sound familiar, but there were a lot of locations I didn't get to because I just kept going to the favorite one that I resonated with. Oh, here you go, Scott. Tell them you're decorating your yard.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we.
I don't know. That guy learned his lesson. He's a little more caring now because he thought COVID was a hoax and he almost died from getting COVID. So he's kind of reborn, but not quite.
Yeah.
But he is a better person now.
Yeah, we have a Unity tour coming through Western New York for Rudy Giuliani, and there's going to be barbecue and everything. And I was just like, whoa. I'm leaving the gas station. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm saying to really, I hope these idiots here don't support this treasonous bastard. And Shan's like, shh. I'm like, no, I'm sick of this. But where I live, it's very red. So I can't really
Good
go
Lord.
anywhere without seeing Brandon stickers. And those, they still have those little pop up, um, not tents, but those little cabinet buildings that you can take around and where they sell the Trump 2024 and the Brandons and everything. And oh, I
I
can't put
I
anything on my car because if I put anything on my car, it's going to be targeted, you know,
oh, I've
if
seen
I
some
put
crazy
anything
stuff
into
here
that.
too. It's rare, but I've seen some crazy things. Like I text you the other day. We were texting about it,
Yeah.
and I was just saying, oh, I've been seeing signs go down. There's, people are waking
Not
up.
around here.
And then I was driving back to work, and here on the Beltline in Madison, some dude had probably a 1980s truck. He spray painted it black. I couldn't get a look at the side and the front as well, but he had all kinds of the former guys graffiti on the side, but he had like straight pipes coming up behind his, probably like 6 feet tall, but straight pipes for his muffler behind his cab. He had not painted on, but he had the former guy's picture right behind his rear mirror, something else on the
Yeah, we
side.
have those here. I've seen those.
And I'm like, oh my God. And then on the tailgate, he said, what did I text you? I can't remember what it said now. Born to lead or something crazy. It was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? How can this guy even drive around and feel good about it? I mean, and I think I said something like, oh, the Kool-Aid's deep, you know?
Yes, it is.
And then when they were just after the election, there's a guy in town that I haven't seen him in a long time, but there's a guy that was cruising around like a 1980s Grand Am or whatever. And he put, he somehow attached fence posts to the
Oh, good
trunk,
Lord.
back of his trunk. He painted up signs, Trump 24 2020. He had painted on his car like the Democrats are pedophiles and all this stuff. I'm like, how can someone actually drive around their vehicle and feel good about this? I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm proud that Joe and Kamala are vice president and president, but I don't even want to put it out there that I wouldn't put a sticker on them, you know.
Yeah, the
I,
people that do here are brave, because otherwise, um, cars would probably be vandalized. We've had people who have had their signs stolen off of their lawns during the election and everything, and for supporting Biden and whatnot. So, you know, I just get so angry. There's a guy down my road that I take when I take the side road. He was saying because he had, I guess he took down, he had like four huge flags. I don't know why he took, two of them down, but he still has this banner that says, Trump 2024 on it. And he was sitting on this porch when I went by today, and I drove by and I looked over and he looked at me and I went, and then started driving. I'm just like, you damn fool. Oh,
Yeah, they're just unreal.
yeah, that's good
Oh,
for Beto.
oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Beto power. Yeah, there was a bunch of elections. There was a bunch of elections yesterday, and unfortunately, there's still some
Yeah.
election deniers and crazy people still getting elected. Nevada and other places. I'm like, are you kidding me? Well, not elected, but making their primaries. I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
lord.
it brings my energy down, and I find that I get very hateful and I get really sick to my stomach, and I'm trying, but it's hard to not feel this when it's all around you all the time. And
Yeah,
so
I
I
mean,
just
especially
get
there.
to the
I
point
mean,
where,
I can see Wisconsin changing. I mean, I don't. I go to red. I drive and deliver in some red areas, and I don't see him as much anymore. But I thought it was just funny when I was talking the other day, and all of a sudden, like, I seen this dude driving around, and that, like, are you
mhm,
kidding me? And it ain't even a professional paint job. It's like he was in the backyard one day, and like, I'm going all Trump, and he because it's like spray paint. It's not good paint. It's not shiny. It's like he spray painted everything. I'm like, oh my god.
oh, Linda, that's funny. I would have a banner that said "Rump for dirt nap." Ooh, yeah. I would do that here. Oh, my car would just be totaled probably.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. We got to remember that it's just the
Yeah.
primaries. You know, they got to go head to head with a good person on the Democrat side. So, but yeah, it's just you're seeing who's winning, and they're pushing the big lie that you know
Yeah.
that and some of them were secretaries of states for the GOP saying they would overturn an election. So what? They're going to turn around and say, let's say,
Some days I'm just
it's like what if a Republican wins, right? They're going to turn around and say, oh no, it was stolen. The Democrats supposed to win. Yeah, right, right.
yeah. Some days I just look up and say, yeah, where is that mothership? I mean, I'm just so disgusted with, the
Where's the
shootings.
mothership? I love it.
Where, with all the shootings, all these poor innocent lives, people not caring, my neighbors, the things, the shit that I see day in and day out. It's just really, it's getting to me. And it's a lot of work to keep that from, getting to you when you got your own stuff, that you got to deal with. It really is. I just don't know what this world is coming to.
I know,
Some
right?
days I lose hope. You know.
I totally believe it's going to get better. And like when
I hope so.
Nancy Jean and I were talking about it, you know, Texas has paper ballots now. They can't cheat like they used to, and
That's
it's a
good.
great bonus. You know, Texas is not that close from being back to blue. Michigan, Wisconsin as a whole, we're always just above. Being Democrat, it's always close, but Democrat. And
Yeah.
Ohio's close there. We just gotta send the love and light to like Indiana, Arkansas, Idaho. Those places that are
Yeah. Oh yeah.
below, below purple. They're too magenta. They're not even close to being purple.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get rid of Ron Johnson, Wisconsin, and Tim Ryan's gonna win. And sounds like Dr. Oz might be going to jail before anything new.
Oh really? See, I don't
Oh,
watch the news because you can't
there's
even.
a lot of stuff coming out on him lately.
Wow, I'm surprised Dr. Phil isn't right there too with him because I've heard some shady stuff about Dr. Phil.
Oh, they're all
But I,
quacks.
but I digress. You
They're
too.
all quacks.
Game and purposes only. But yeah, I don't watch the news,
I don't know
so I
about
have
worse
no
before
idea.
better, Linda. I think we're just getting to the good stuff. There's going to
Oh,
be a
this
lot
isn't
going.
good.
There's going to be a lot going on before November.
Yeah, I'll start watching news when I hear that there's videos on YouTube showing people getting led away in handcuffs and stuff. I'll be like,
Right.
okay, I'll watch that.
When you get the news there's indictments dropping, then you're going to get interested.
Yeah,
I
because I'm
don't.
just tired of every time watching or hearing and seeing that, this gets done and then this gets turned over and then this one gets ignored and this one, and I'm just like,
It
it's
is
just too many.
frustrating.
There's just too much money on both sides and things are not getting done.
Yeah, I can't
Things that
remember
should
what
be.
I can't remember what I just heard, but yeah, there's it's very whatever I read or heard about reporting on Oz, he's in big trouble. There's something I can't remember what that. It was something about women. Oh, he's caught on tape. He was caught on tape with an interview that him
Uh-oh.
and his wife were on, and they didn't stop the video, and he was calling the reporter, who was a woman. I think she was a different race, whatever. He was calling her ignorant or something, and it's you know when that gets played and talk, no, people are gonna be like, "What the heck?" Yeah,
Mhm.
Oz is a crazy man. I mean, he's a crook.
I don't think there as many. I don't think there's going to be that many. Not at least the ones that really deserve to go to jail. I think they're going to go free. You know, I think
Oh,
a lot
stop
of them.
that!
I'm sorry, but I mean, it's been over a year now and stuff with a lot of this going on, and it's just so you know, it's just
I
people
have
all.
faith. I have faith.
Okay.
When you see the DOJ arrested seditious conspiracy with the Oath Keepers, the Proud Boys, you know they're working up a chain and they're flipping.
Well, two men from Buffalo that were at the Capitol and inside the Capitol, they've been sentenced to jail, but not for very long. But at least it's something, you know. I think it was
Well,
like
yeah,
5 years or something. I'm like, really? That's it?
I know it should be more. They should be all be fined, thousands of dollars to pay for that couple million in damage they did. Those hearings are going to be nasty.
Yeah,
They've been great so far. Tomorrow there's another one.
yeah.
I know.
I was
It's all
I was
about patience,
watching
people. It's all
I
about
was
patience.
AOC went live last week, and I was watching her for a little bit, and just the people that were on there not supporting her but were just saying all this awful stuff, and I couldn't even enjoy watching, listening to her talk because of all this, you know going up in the but I really felt for her because she went live, um, I think a few months after the January 6th, and she shared with people, and she was in tears that when she was younger she had been SA, um, and when they came in for her she was just barely hiding behind a door, and that brought back all that PTSD from when she was SA when she was younger, and
Yeah,
she was
that was
absolutely
horrible.
terrified that they were going to find her. And I don't have a lot of faith in politicians really on both sides, but she's one of those rare few that I do believe in. Like Letitia James, I believe in her 100%. And to see her have to recall that, and she was sharing that on her live and being that vulnerable and authentic, that broke my heart, but that just made me, love her even more. And I really do hope she runs for president in the future. She would make an excellent president.
I think she'll be a senator. I don't think she'll make president. She's young. She's got a long way to go yet.
Oh yeah, but I'm hoping,
I
before,
don't know. I'm not seeing 20 years down the road. She's not even
well,
30, is she? She's not even 30, is
uh,
she?
no,
I don't think she's even 30, so she got a long way to go.
But she's one of those rare few of them that really are doing their best. You know.
Class. Da-da.
Oh,
I should be able to emphasize that parlors rather than class.
I'm not sure what Jake means.
A day parlor class.
But she's still good though. She's for the people.
Right. But some of those guys, I feel they're pushing it too far. You know, it's hard to say, but socialist per se, we can't get
Mm-hmm.
it all at once, right?
Mm,
They're pushing it too far. You got to work in increments in politics, and they became a little bit too radical in certain aspects. I love AOC, I do. She's brave, she's strong, it's tough, but we can't get everything we want at once, and you're pushing all this stuff out there that ain't gonna
I
happen.
get it.
You know what I
I
mean?
get it.
We can't have Medicare for all right now.
Yeah.
We got to work in increments and say this is my goal. Not to be so radical about everything. And that's my only issue there is just like I know, yeah, we had socialism. I get that. Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
half the stuff we have is socialism.
Yeah, people don't understand that. Yeah.
But you're working with half the country, so you got to have your messaging a little different. That you know, it's just not the way to go. You
Exactly,
need to be
Chris.
like Hilda said. You need to be a Jamie Raskin and Eric Swallow, talking about policies we can get past now. Yes, there is an ultimate goal,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to be in that realm to piss off everybody. You want to be in that centrist mode moving forward. And that's the best way to be in it. That's the only thing I didn't like. Like you want to call them the squad or whatever. And they didn't even vote for some bill or something. I can't remember what it was. But a lot of people, Pelosi was pissed off. And you don't
I
want
have
to,
my feelings about Pelosi, but I'll keep those to myself.
yeah, it is what it is. Politician is politician. But
Yeah,
you want to
but
stay in the
she's
pot.
got Spitfire.
Yeah.
She's got a
You got
good
to stay in
heart.
to be a good person for the people, you need to be on the positive side of moving forward, but be realistic what you can get done without,
Yeah.
because you can't put out there, ideas and policies you can't pass. You can mention them, tell them how you move forward, but you just need to, be in the middle, but move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one step at a time. We can only, we got half the country, a third of the country radical. Then you have another third in the middle, and then you have 40% that are on the positive side. So you got to keep everyone happy. You know, Pelosi's doing the best she can. She's keeping the party together. She's the master behind the scenes.
Mm,
She knows when to drop bombs when she needs to drop bombs. So,
yeah. The one thing I did like what she did was when she did her little.
oh, I liked it better when she ripped up his speech.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Now, if they could only, stop letting the Republicans,
Yeah, I agree.
just refusing. Well, we're not going to. We're charging you. You're going to, do this. You do that. When they put out the subpoenas and everything. Oh, we're not going to follow. We're not going to listen. We're not going to come. Oh, okay. That was what was freaking frustrating me with her and the Democrats, allowing them to just walk all over them instead of, you know, putting their foot down and saying no, and doing what needed to be done. But I don't know. I'm sure I was not put on this earth to be a politician.
Yeah, it's a tough one. To be in the spotlight, to get criticism left and right, that's tough. It's mind-boggling to me how these certain people can just lie and lie and lie and feel good about themselves and continue
Yeah.
to do it. It's amazing.
and then they allow it, and that's what was really getting to me.
Yeah, correct,
But
Lizzie. That's how it's gonna go. It's gonna how it's gonna be going forward. We're gonna be doing baby steps until we can see everything that's happening now. These certain Republicans are being exposed for their lies, and it's coming out in these hearings. And we're gonna finally, it, like I said, they're just gonna be exposed for lies, and gradually here we're gonna increase, so it makes them irrelevant. There's a huge change coming. Baby steps. We will get the voting rights. We'll get everything we want. I guarantee it. I totally feel it.
it's gonna take a while. It
It's
really
gonna
is.
it's gonna make all these Republicans are irrelevant. I
I
totally
think the
feel there's
hardest.
I totally feel there's like eight or so congressmen that are going to be indicted for the January 6th and the collusion to make that all happen.
Yeah.
We can see this Loudermilk guy is getting called out. That Scott Perry from Pennsylvania. All these people are going to go, and the public's going to see it.
hmm I know the last thing after I had my picture with Letitia and I thanked her, I looked at her and I said, please help bring justice to our country. And she smiled and I walked away. I have faith in her that she's doing her best.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, no matter if if she gets stalled or not, it's not going to be because I feel like she's being paid off or anything. She's a very genuine individual. I felt that from her, and I know she is doing her very best. So I can get at least behind her in that.
I mean, if you actually think about it, it's a miracle Joe Biden won, and it's a miracle we got the two, Georgia Democrats in to make the Senate 50-50.
See, yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about, Linda. You were arrested. They just let them
Because
walk all over
always in
them.
my
Oh,
day,
you're not.
oh, I know,
They
right?
should have been arrested. This is what I'm talking about. They just kept closing them, just kept letting these individuals just walk all over them, ignore the subpoenas, nothing. If that was any of us, we would have been arrested in a heartbeat. And they just let them,
Yeah,
get
it's
away with it.
it's politics with a committee in Congress. But if it was the DOJ doing it to them, they would have been locked up. They need to, but they haven't signed that bill. I think it was Chris Liu or someone, or maybe it was Swalwell. He introduced a bill about inherent contempt to give Congress the backing to arrest them immediately with inherent contempt. It didn't get passed. So there's a
Interesting.
fine line with that one, so they couldn't do it. So they got to go through the justice system and whatnot. So that's what sucks there.
Yep.
Because with the committees, all they did was appeal, appeal, appeal. That's what 45 did his whole life. He just appeals, appeals. But that
Yeah,
time is
they'll be running out of
running
gas
out.
soon.
But the time's running out. You can't appeal anymore. They're in trouble.
Oh,
There
it
you go,
can't run
Sam.
out. It can't run out fast enough for me. Let me tell you.
I know it, honey. I
But
feel it.
yet, where I'm at, in being in such a red area, even though New York State's blue, we are very red in Western New York. When something does go down with him, if anything, I would hate to see what would happen here, to be quite honest. But I just, try to stay positive and. But yeah,
So
we got some
yeah,
nut
I
jobs
mean,
out here.
if you would look up any of the U.S. attorneys or look up what they're arresting and whatnot, they are arresting and charging people every single day. From PPE loans and whatnot, they're locking them up. Drug crimes, they're locking them up. Our prosecutors and FBI are working their butt off right now. I see them every day. The FBI is arresting people. The U.S. attorneys are prosecuting people all over the country. It's a different story than when the former guy was in there.
Yeah. Yep. It's taking longer
It,
than I
it,
would
it's
like.
just the big guys and the ones we know that are criminals. It ain't happening yet.
I think the thing that really affected me deeply, not with the politics or anything, is what happened here in my hometown and what happened to those poor children. For me, those were the two really strong tipping points of where I started just feeling myself, you know, just starting to go down and starting to lose hope that, 18 children, this, because, yeah, it's just when you start involving, you know, elderly people and children, innocent children. Um,
Right. Yeah.
I found out that the school that my grandniece and grandnephew go to was one of the locations that the Buffalo shooter had planned to hit.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
when I see those pictures and I think of the people that passed away at Tops, I thank them, because if it hadn't been for them and their sacrifice, whether it was agreed before they came to Earth or not, they very likely had saved my niece and nephew's life. So I'm very blessed for that.
Um, I'm confused
Huh?
about that one, Pam. About that priest, which is supposed to give you guidance on life after. Oh,
Oh, that
yeah,
story.
about when I went to my ex-father-in-law's funeral. That was horrifying. I could not believe it. I ripped them up in a letter. I'm like, you need to learn a little bit. That is just a horrible thing to say that our souls don't live on in that.
Oh, when my friend Amanda's mother passed away when we first met. Her grandmother was Jehovah Witness. Her mother left and wanted to be a Catholic, but her grandmother had a Jehovah Witness funeral. And I leave people, for their spiritual beliefs and how they want to believe. But when me and my fellow coworkers were with Amanda at her mom's um, mass service, it was just awful what they were saying, you know, about her mother, that she's dead, she's gone, she's nothing but dust. And then went ahead and just used her funeral, her death, as a sermon on a pulpit. And
Yeah,
we
that's not
felt
good.
so uncomfortable. We felt so uncomfortable, and a lot of us wanted to get up and leave, but we were there to support my friend, and it was just horrendous. I mean, her mother died a horrible death, and to hear, and her and her siblings dealing with that grief, and to hear that individual saying, oh, she's dead, she's gone, she's nothing but dirt and dust now, and this is their time to end. I was just like, I can't believe this. So that really turned me off to that faith, that that they would say something to a grieving family. It it's heartbreaking. But I mean, they
It
knew
is.
that there was more afterlife, but to have to sit there and listen
Yeah,
to that, you're just losing their mother. Um, yeah,
yeah.
but thank
Hey,
God,
it's all good. It's all good, Jake. If you feel that, they're useless, and they have been for a long time. But if we
I
look at
don't know what that is.
what the Democrats and Biden have done since they've gotten in, that's a lot. We got stimulus checks, we got infrastructure passed. He's done a plenty. He, they've eliminated a lot of college debt. There's a whole
Yep,
bunch of things.
mine was forgiven. I
He,
didn't have a lot, but there was no way I was going to be able to pay mine off, and it was taken care of. So I'm
Beautiful.
grateful for that.
Joe's
But
done
then
more
now, if
than.
I want to go back to school for anything, I can't ask for any help. But that's
Yeah, I
forgiven.
mean, the system's been horrible. It's like we probably had one of the greatest presidents in Obama, probably before Joe now, but
Hmm.
and Mitch
But Joe
McConnell.
is losing it. I have seen him speak, and it does seem like he comes in and out. And I'm
Oh
just,
yeah, I'm not
God,
saying
Joe,
that, but
please. Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but yeah, I mean, Joe's an old man. But I'm talking about, you know, Barack Obama was a wonderful man and a president, right? But Mitch McConnell's whole goal was to block his whole agenda, the whole 8 years,
Hmm. Yeah.
and he did
He's
his
very
dangest
dead.
to do so. It's like, how can you get anything done when you have Republicans blocking everything?
Hmm.
There was how many bills sitting on McConnell's desk, and he never moved on any of
Every time I see his face, I just want to, you
them. No,
know,
he'll get his. He'll get his.
it'll be nice to see. Although you really can't dwell on the misfortune of others, but I'm sorry. Spirit will forgive me this one time, I think,
Yeah.
if I gloat.
I mean, you can kind of tell. I mean, Joe's getting burned out already. He's
Yeah.
working his butt off. I just can't see him having the energy to do another 4 years.
Mm, mm, hopefully
I
they'll
mean,
bring
if,
in
if we
somebody
can
else.
get if we can get everything done, we can in 2022 get enough Democrats to make Manchin and Cinema irrelevant. Everything can be golden. Joe can ride off. He saved the country, and it's all good.
Yertle? Is that McConnell the turtle? Yertle?
That man's horrible. We know who's all horrible. Who's taking
Yeah.
Russian money, da da da, and who won't vote for anything good. We know.
Yeah.
But
Well, it is
I
it's
totally
10.
feel it. I totally feel it. Everything's going to be good. We got a bumpy road this summer, but wait till the indictment starts flying, and they will happen. It'll go good.
Yeah. My wish is just that there's no more mass shootings, at
Oh,
least that
I know,
take as
right?
many lives as children. That's my thing that I put out there, you know, just to
Yeah,
keep people safe.
it hurts my heart too.
Well,
So hard.
everybody, I'm sorry to interrupt, Scott. It's
No,
10
go ahead.
o'clock my
Yeah,
time. I have medication that I have to take at this time. So, thank you, Scott, for this. Most people might not know, but this is the first time Scott's been a guest on my channel. And sorry again about the beginning, dropping you right off there by yourself at the beginning. But I
it's
really
good.
thought it was my car alarm going off. I had to go check it. Um, but it was wonderful readings tonight. I had a blast. And thank you for coming on.
You bet,
Um,
Heather. Love
and
you.
I thank everybody coming on and for joining us. And make sure everybody hit like and subscribe, especially for Scott as well. Help us keep his numbers going up. And Jake, I love you too. You're sweet. I love everybody. For a lot of people, it's they really want to get numbers up, but for me, as always, I always say it's the quality. You know, for me, not the quantity. And I think everybody who shows up whenever I go live helps me support my channel. So yes, to the Master Chief. But yeah, if you think of any other future things I could read on, whether it's just myself or if you'd like to join me again, in the future, let me
I'll
know. Or
start searching some ghostly things in your area.
yes, I have plenty here. The Statler's been on more than one TV show. Of course, the Buffalo Terminal building, more than one show. So yeah, I got plenty of places in this area. So
You
most
know,
definitely.
I found a lot of ghostly things, but whether it's a mystery or not, it might be just a boring read. But the two we
Yeah.
found tonight were weird, and
Mhm.
fascinating. So that's what's
In
cool
two
about it all.
weeks, Sherry is going to be my guest again, and we're going to be reading on the Rougarou. That's like it's supposed to be like half man, half wolf. Someone caught some video footage of it, and it looks more like a Sasquatch. but that's been big lore for many, many years, even the early peoples of the area down in Louisiana swamps. So we're
Yeah.
going to be reading on the Rougarou. So that'll be fun. That'll be
Interesting.
interesting.
So you gotta see if
Yes.
those pictures look, ghostly, or they actually look, 3D.
The video, apparently the grandfather didn't even know that they had caught it on unless he intentionally waited till he had passed to have the footage left over. But you could see it. To me, it looked like a Bigfoot. It was tall. It looked like it was hairy, just casually moving through the trees. And people have looked at the video. They said they don't see anything that's been done to it, and so who knows. So that's going to be
Yeah.
something cool. I'm going to see if I can have Sherry bring up
Cool.
that
All
video.
right. Yep. I need it. It's 9 o'clock here. I need to actually eat dinner myself yet.
Yes, so thank you everybody. Thank you, Scott.
Bless you.
Everybody have a blessed evening. Mwah. And we'll all see you on the next live.
Love and light. Good night,
Yep.
everyone.
Bye.